What's up, crew? Or what's up, YouTube community? After Fourthers, how was y'all's holiday? I got to sit right here on my porch and watch one of the best illegal fireworks in California. Yeah, we have like 4 houses across the street from me. I did it last year on my life. But yeah, they go nuts, man. Thousands and thousands of dollars worth of fireworks going on. I just found out why, because they're all outside city limits. See, the city sets really high fines and stuff, but the county doesn't. So they're in the county. I can figure out why they wouldn't bust them. I saw cop cars going by my street all night long. Yo, Corn. What up, my main man? My main 5-cent battery man. What's going on? Let's make you a CCB shirt that says 5-cent man or 5% man. People will be like, what the hell does that mean? 5% man. It's where his phone's always at. Doesn't matter when, where, whatever. It's always at 5%. 5%. I'm assuming this is probably going to be another really slow panel Monday. Figuring it's the day after a holiday. Of course, today kind of a holiday too. I don't know. Wasn't for me. I spent the day editing. That's what I had planned. Got to get done by tomorrow because it's almost all the way done. Got to get it done because I'm probably going to be live fishing tomorrow. Which means I have to leave somewhere and I have to leave early. So I can't sit in the spot. Or I can't sit here till later, but it's almost done. Another good show. And I filmed another show on I filmed a show on Saturday. I did the first leg of the Drain Lake tour. Finally. Getting going on it. So we went and filmed a Drain Lake. What the heck? It's going to be what the tour is called. So we got our choice about any lake in the California almost. Oh, you know about new batteries. Oh. I thought you didn't know you could get new batteries. Hearing voices. I thought you just thought you had to buy a new phone in order to get a new battery. Yeah, you can buy new batteries, man. You can buy plug-in batteries too. And you plug them in the wall. I know it's just a hassle because then there's a cord. Who wants a cord on their phone? Nobody. Remember when I worked at undercar. I know where those are. Yeah, I changed that in the Pontiac. Didn't end up being the problem, but it was an older engine. We don't have the car anymore, but I had to change the crankshaft position. So, yeah, I found out where that was. Thought it might be the issue what it was having. It wasn't. It was just an old Pontiac engine getting ready to die. Everything went out in that water pump. Oxygen sensor. What else? Mass airflow. Everything went out. It was only a 99, but. So what'd you do for the weekend, Corn? You're the only man in here. But, oh, it says 3 now. I sat here and watched the fireworks show. Almost went live. I should have, but our city got zero tolerance and all that. Blah blah blah. Nope. People went off bigger than last year. It's a great show for about 2 hours. Oh, who's in here? Bassmaster. Okay. Who's Bassmaster? Oh, you came in and Corn left. He's like,
oh, really?
Shit, I'm not here. No, I don't know. He just. What's up, man?
What's up?
How was your 4th?
What was that?
How was your 4th?
Oh, my 4th? I had to work, dude. I had to go in early at 5. And it was a...
Oh, he's still in here. I lied.
What's up, 4th? What's up, everybody? Whoever else is on watching.
It's only Corn. Corn's the only guy here.
I'm about to make some rice real quick.
So how was your 3rd? Oh wait. Never mind. I know about the 3rd. Sorry.
I was stuck in heat Saturday, bro. Almost got a heat stroke. Damn, bro.
I got exiled from the 4th of July party. Remember I told you about that?
Yeah, how was that?
They wouldn't let me go. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
She said I would be shunned.
That what? You would have been what?
Shunned.
Oh. So did you at least get to see your neighbors?
Oh yeah, I had a great fireworks show. It was amazing.
I didn't see shit, bro. I was at work.
Yeah, and they brought me home some food, so that was nice.
At least
more fireworks tonight. Yeah, I should have went live. Man. Those people went crazy for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
They must have spent $10,000 on their fireworks at least. It's crazy.
Yeah, my
cops driving up.
Goes as I planned.
Cops driving up down the street.
What's it called? What is the older one? She was at her friend's house, and her friend's dad blew off some fingers of his.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yesterday?
No. Oh yeah, yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, he had to go all the way to Stanford, all the way to Frisco.
What did he do? Not let it go in time, or just an accident?
Well, I had asked, and she said that either both. She wasn't sure, but pretty much he had it in his hand for a while, so it was too long.
You think?
Yeah. Hey, I had a black cat. Oh, what are those bobcats or the little small ones?
Yeah.
I had one of those pop in my ear one time because you know how their fuses go out sometimes.
Yeah.
So I went to go back to the
Green
floor
light.
and I tried moving it so that way the wind could, Nah, just like, you know what? The wind's not doing it. Let me blow it.
Boom.
Damn. Damn. Right in my ear.
Yeah, I remember black cats. I used to have some.
Yo, those are the ones back in the day. And
yeah, black cats.
only lit a few ever in my life. M80s. That's it. Like probably like 3 or 4. And
never had an M80 or a cherry bomb.
yeah. Well, I heard them before, but I'm only lit in like 2 of them.
I think I might have lit one in my life, but that was it.
Yeah, I still got some from last year too.
Those things are too powerful, man.
Yeah, I seen some video of how they put them like in like tubes and stuff, or like water bottles and shit.
Oh, really?
See if it blows it up.
He said his dad holds them in his fingers till they blow up.
Oh, hell with that, bro. I mean, yeah, I just was like that days when I went to go blow it, that fuse just went back on, and then it was just a bad experience for me.
I used to find all the ones that didn't explode and crack them in half.
Oh, yeah.
Then light them, and you could step on them, and they'd blow up.
I was checking out some TikTok video.
Yeah.
These guys were like in probably like Arizona though, but with some big ass ones with like 100 shots and stuff that you wouldn't even be able to put it in the middle of the road because it lines from the line up straight and then it goes to 45 degrees and they shoot.
Yeah.
There's roads
crazy.
Like,
yeah, they shoot all over the place.
Yeah.
God. Those are the fun ones.
Yeah.
We used to strip down to Piccolo Pete's.
I want to
They're
go.
only like,
what is it? San Luis Obispo.
Why?
Say hello, baby.
Baby time. What's
Say
up?
hello.
What's up? How you doing?
They're talking to you, baby.
What a look.
Yeah.
It's like, hey.
She loves the
Hey,
camera.
I'm here.
She always tries to put the camera in her mouth.
That's where all babies put everything.
Yeah. Thanks, bro.
First place they put anything is in their freaking mouth.
Yeah. I got the white rice cooking.
I've had a few girlfriends that were the same way.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Like, wow, did you learn that when you were young? Just put everything in your mouth?
Who's that guy on my 7?
Looks like me. Hey, Steve. I'm on the big screen, man. I'm a star. It looks pretty good from on the big screen. That's my live, huh? Yeah. Isn't it?
Yeah. You got your white, or you what is it? Your I forgot what it's called. The lens.
See what Cord put.
Some gay guy. Yeah, I didn't know he was gay.
Yeah, thanks. That from one of my #1 fans. Yay.
It's I'm just wanted to hop on, give you guys an update of the baby, and I'm gonna finish cooking up right here. We're here real quick. I'm gonna make some fried rice and some shrimp and some meat before I go to work and get this
Are you
grind.
working tonight? All right. Thanks for coming in.
Yep, no problem. Y'all stay safe.
Okay. Well, that was good. Tito found his way in. Getting ready to cook and work. Yeah, me and him went and did the first Drain Lake Tour episode Saturday. It's gonna be pretty fun. It's a fun day of fishing and filming. It's a little warm. It's like 88. Little wind. Okie dokie, man. We'll still be in the background. Yeah, I titled it the self-help thing because I've been watching a bunch of the YouTube self-help channels. I finally broke down. I started watching them. I'm like, all right, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Tell me. I didn't learn anything. I'm like, how to grow your channel by 40% in 1 year. Well, I already do all that. Most of it was editing and flow. Under Grease Mile. I can find that if I go like 20 miles away. Right here, it's, how much was it? 61? Just laying them cranking. That's good. I haven't got a crankfish in a long time. Yeah, with those deep cranking, I'm saying laying them. Yeah, I've never deep cranked. Not a deep crank guy. Yeah, yeah, my elbow killed me. My wrist killed me. I used to have like a big bump right here from holding the, where the, on the bait caster. Yeah, it killed my freaking wrist. Oh yeah, and I was throwing my, well, that one's harder too because they have such pull. But I was high speed cranking the square bills. Yeah, I couldn't, this finger, it wasn't, yeah, it was this finger. I'd only bend it like that much. It was always swollen and stuff just from holding it. And this index from the casting all the time too. It was like, I have these in my hands now. Those things on my tendons. Yeah. Those came from a year and a half of high speed cranking all the time. Ooh, I blew it up. Uh-oh. Killer hummingbirds here. Yeah, it's a sport, man. It'll wear you out. That's why I do mostly finesse stuff now. Where's the pumpkin? Hey, my tramp. Battle scars. Yeah. Luckily, these aren't catching. Sometimes they like catch and cause people's fingers to go in. What did I use? 7-1. I think it was 7-1 or 29-1. Yeah, they didn't have much faster back then. That was 2002 and 2003. I think 7 was like it, 7-1. Yeah, but I did like 10 seconds a cast. 10, 15 seconds per cast. I was cranking the baby. I was making it move as fast as you could move it. I was like, pull the truck. Yeah, deep cranking, yeah. I was high speed, shallow cranking, high speed. Yeah, you want like a 5.6 or a 5.5 or 6.5 or no. Yeah, you used to be able to get 5.5s. I have a 4.3 that I use for the buzzbait, and if I crank it deep crank, I use the 4.3. It's like butter, man. You don't even feel the resistance of those big blades when you got a 4.3 to 1. 19 inches of reel handle. It cranks those puppies in real easily. That's why I got it for the crankbait or for the buzzbait because I was trying to reel slow on a faster speed and it had such resistance. Oh, it's like butter. Same thing with the buzzbait too. You know, a bigger crank and you're doing the faster one, it pulls quite a bit. The other one, like you don't even feel the pull of it. And same with crankbaits. I don't know if anybody that used to be Bass Pro Shops, the Pro Qualifier. I don't know if the new one goes that low, but I got the wrong one. I got 4.3 to 1. I should have got 4. It's 4.5 to 1. I don't know. I got 19 inches. I should have got 21 inches reeler. Sometimes I'd hook them and just can't keep up with them if they come at me and they would jump and throw it. But it works the thing great when you're working it slow. And deep cranks too. You just dig those puppies down there. You're reeling like you know the easy gear in a bike. Perfect. Saves wear and tear on the body, that's for sure. So that was your 4th mud tramp. Oh, I guess it's not in here anymore. Loose BB1 has yeah. That's what you need it for. And it has lots of resistance. Those cranks will wear you out, man. Especially if you have a high speed gear. It's like going uphill in the hardest gear of a bike. It's like, oh yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is working. Yeah. Hope we catch fish soon so I can reel normal. This could be another slower moontog, I can tell. Skate them out and I'll be fishing. Remember we came to that conclusion last week? I was right. I got a lot more people in and a lot more likes now when I was actually live fishing. It always works for me in the heat. Yeah. In a boat. In a boat, yeah. It's hard to do from shore though. That's why I don't fish a lot of stuff. You know. It's not that easy. And you're just not gonna sit there and crank in the same spot forever. Especially deep dive ones from shore. They just dig in too much. But like I was saying, I got on and checked out some of those self-help, and I'm like, these are for people that like don't really, they try to give you where to get a focus, how to create a channel, what you want to do. I'm like, okay, I think I'm already there. And I get the ones to do the editing and all that, and they're like, oh yeah, skip it up, cut it so it just goes word to word, don't leave gaps. I'm like, do that. Have a flow, have a pay. I'm like, do that. How's this gonna help me get more viewers? It's everything I already do. Oh. Guess tonight's gonna be quiet. Last night was just boom, 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 everywhere around it, even behind me. They're getting bitter, better, 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 like butter. Yeah, I don't know. I think so. At least my vlogs. Vlogs are a lot quicker than the shows, and I'm kind of learning the pace, when to kind of speed it up, when to slow it down, kind of stuff. Realizing I'm like too anal about things that nobody notices, like butt a baby. Yeah, I'm trying. I always try. If you look at how they are now compared to how they were 2002, because basically I did the show on cable access, and then I brought that style of the show to YouTube for the first few I put on there. I wanted to make it like the old school fishing shows. Bill Dance, Roland Martin, Hank Parker, that style. Bandits a lot. The 100 Bandit. 100 Bandit. I had a bunch of them. I had a 100 Bandit. A little bit bigger one was the Little N. I think those were my like two favorite because the Bandit one's nice and small. I had the original Rebel We R's. Those were really good. I had some Mans at one time. I don't know. I went through a lot of different ones, but they just didn't. The Bandits worked the best. Got a 9 pounder at pin them on a Bandit. Like 4 feet, 4 to 6, they say. Just high speed shuttle cranking. You gotta get the right one. So, I mean, the Bandits and the Normans, the way the eyes are, it's sticking out quite a bit, so they're really easy to adjust. Some of them they have them in far, and you can't really grab them to like twist them to adjust them, but it sucks. Yeah, it's sort of reaction. I mean, some of it's reaction, some of it's them just seeing it coming and going for it. It is an instinctual reaction now. Something fast goes by and they automatically chase it. They know it's distracted. It's hauling ass. It's got to have something chasing it, or it doesn't know what it's doing, so it's not paying attention to the bass. So they just go and grab it. It's kind of like when they chase a fish you have caught. It's just like going crazy and flying. All of a sudden, the bass start chasing everywhere. They know it's distracted. They know it ain't paying attention to them. Hey, he got me first through third in 11 tournaments in a row in 3 different clubs, from like pre-spawn all the way through fall. Like 95% of the fish I caught were high-speed shuttle cranking. I pick up a few in the morning on top wire and that, and then I just go straight to cranking the rest of the day. Just covering water, miles of water. Half of them were hooked on the gills. Your deep ones? Your deep cranks are swiping on it? Oh, mine freaking. Even high speed cranking, man, they engulf that thing. I have like hooks down their throat. I always have to take out the pliers to get the hooks out because they just freaking. Yeah, well, it's kind of. I mean, it's kind of hard when something's digging on the bottom for them to like, they grab it, to try to turn or something. Not like trying to eat it off the bottom. It's the angle. They hit it. Sometimes it catches them under the lip. They're a good predator, but they're not perfect. Not today. Yeah, no, the high-speed cranking, man, they eat that thing. And they almost rip the freaking pole out of your hand when they hit, because it's like hitting a brick wall. You're flying along, and all of a sudden the fish, a 3-pounder or even bigger, just smacks. It's like, shit. That was how it hurt my wrist so much, because of all the hits. Like when they hit, it's like, boom. And yeah, man, that's why my wrist is messed up. No mercy with that. Flat, no, just regular square bill. The Bandit's not even technically a square bill. The Bandit 100 series. I said the Wii. No, the flat. You can't do the flat side that fast. They turn and spin out. And actually, every crank I've ever, the speed I throw them, almost every crank never tracks straight. It has to be adjusted, and you have to keep adjusting it during the day. They will usually either track a little bit to one side or the other side, or they'll just come up. And Jay, what is up? Yep, I would have to readjust my cranks like 4 or 5 times a day to make sure they ran dead straight as fast as I could reel them. They would just, I mean, they kind of go like this, like that new Shad one. Oh, wiggle, wiggle. Well, yeah, you run it straight at a some speed, it goes straight. You run it like quick, it goes like this. It wobbles back and forth. I think that's what really does it. But to track at that speed, you've got to balance them. And I was anal. And then I'd catch a big fish, and I've never thrown one. I'm drunk and chilling. Cool. All right, thanks. Yeah, I don't know about. Thank you, man. Give me some 16:9 footage so I make an intro, man. I need some footage to throw together for you. I don't know. I've had everything. KVDs I would throw too. Um, yeah, I've never, none of them, not at that speed, none of them run true. Never had one. Or if it does run true, it'll end up not running true after you use it for a while. Yeah, it's you're reeling in so fast. They're not really meant for that. The speed I was doing, 3 casts a minute. It's like you're reeling in the recast. All right, I'll check her out. Since I just made my new one and I kept the template of mine, so I could play with some other stuff in that sort of realm, but different. Bergen County. I'm in Bergen County. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Remember, I just got the Guggen box. There's a Guggen flat side in there. So that's what I'm waiting to see if it tracks. I'm sure it will. But I do want to try high speed with one of those. Just to see how they track. Even my own square bills I had, they would track all right. I mean, they track it till they go to one side or the other, but they wouldn't like track enough that they came over the top. I'd always have to sort of fine tune them. Yeah, I do that. I've done that, Steve. I've had people that I tell them they should try high speed cranking, and they start throwing it out. I'm like, no, 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 faster. Send me a decent camera I can use. I don't know. All mine are breaking right now. All mine are breaking. All my original Hackcam ones are now. I'm down. I have none left. I have the two I'm using, but no spares. So I might have to figure something else out for my Hackcam eventually, or get the one new camera I bought that doesn't work. Yeah, the bands are good. The 100 series. Got a 9 pounder at where I had Pinot on it. Got plenty of 5s and 6s and 7s on it. Got 8.5 on it. They're teeny. They're like that big, but man, they catch big fish. It'll work. I don't know. I look for. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the inches per reel handle, but you see one about 28 inches of reel handle. It's good. It depends on. I mean, all the gear ratios come in different things. Yeah, Lake X. I don't know. I switch it up. Sometimes I call it Pinot. Sometimes I call it Lake X. New one coming on Wednesday. And I did the first tour, the first leg of the 30 inches. Yeah, that's good. Mine's, I did the first leg of the Drain Lake tour. Me and Tito filmed that on Saturday. 30 inches. Yeah, that's about right. That works. I used to do it with I was 28 inches of reel handle. And that was good. Then I moved up to, I think, 31. I might be live there tomorrow. I don't know. I'm starting going live fishing again instead of sitting on the stripper porch. So I went to El Estero last week. Might go to Pinot. I haven't decided yet. I might go live there again. No, yeah, just fast. I never hit anything. Never hit a thing. Every once in a while, I might accidentally hit something. But no, it's just that speed. You don't have to hit anything with that speed. A lot of it too, I'm doing at the edges of grass. So like grass that's out and it creates an edge line. If I hit any of that with a bandit, it's toast. No, I have a lot of my old shows. I have my original one of my Rattling Lopez. Rattling Lopez. And I have I don't know what the other that one Rattling Lopez Lake, that's the one I know. That's my old one. That's what I put on YouTube. It was originally on cable access. That's as fast. It's with the rattle trap, and that's as fast as I reel the square bills. It's like you would like. Here's the way I explain it. You cast this way, top water. Start working it. Bass start busting that way. You reel in. You cast over there. Well, that's the way I reel in a crankbait. That same speed. Even that hurt my arm. It's only been some from lives, so 18, 19. Might be going on 4 years now. 2018, you got to go live. I went live, and I think my first time was in February or March. And yeah, that'd be 18, 19, 20, 21. That'd be 3 years now. So somewhere around 3 years. We met on the lives, right? Might be longer if you read my shows first. All right, have a good sleep. Yeah, but that's seriously, I fasted. I real smoke break. Yeah, this seriously as fast as I can reel them. I mean, here it just looks like it becomes a blur, but that's when my fingers were messed up. I couldn't bend them because of the angle on it. And yeah, it was just, yeah, it was this finger. That's right. It was one that was on the handle. I'd only moved that one like that far, and it was all swollen. This one's got stuff underneath, but that was from the position of the reel when I was reeling. Yeah, it's a lot faster than most people think. Well, you can't reel it faster than a fish. That's all I'm gonna say. Doesn't matter how fast you reel it, they can still catch up to it. And usually they're intercepting it from the side, so they're not chasing it from behind. It's going over and they're going boom to intercept it. That's why they hit so hard, because they're coming either from the other straight at it or from the side at it, and it just stops it dead. That's what we're climbing. Yep. Hey, Chris, what's up? Yeah, I learned it from a friend of mine. I learned it from a friend of mine in like early 90s who learned it from a guy from the 80s. I've caught him 55 and above. Yep. That cold water cranking that fast. They're still active in 55. Usually when it's coming up, but I've got them in the fall when water got into brought the mid 50s, 55, 56. I still hit it. Once it gets down to like 52 and stuff like that, yeah, put it away till next late winter. Doing fishing, yeah, yeah, I've fished. I have another Pinot show coming up on Wednesday, and I fished the first leg of the Drain Lake tour on Saturday. So yeah, I've been fishing enough to get stuff done. And I'll probably be fishing tomorrow. I'm thinking we go live fishing somewhere. Have you been to Pinos that you saw that show? Is the Mega Stool? I don't know where that came from. Is the Mega School still on that point? Chris is a local of the lake, so I saw the videos. I'm just wondering if they're still there. I haven't been there since the last one I filmed, which was Saturday. Last Saturday. Not this Saturday, last Saturday. Remember I filmed Friday, Saturday, no. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, didn't I? Oh. Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Yeah, I think so. 3 days straight of filming and a lot of fish. That was fun. He hasn't answered me yet. I asked him a question if they're still there. Have you been there? been a week. You saw how many fish were in that area. Thought you'd be all over it by now, my man. Are my comments not working? What's going on? I'm asking hard-hitting questions and nobody's answering me. I want to know how the bites do it. I want to know if my mega school is still around. Why's that light look so dark? Stunning. Okay, on another subject then. How about this weather? I know everybody's baking, and I'm sitting here in a jacket and a hat in 61-degree weather. Yeah, it's about where it is right now. I did spend a day in 90-degree weather fishing that show, and that was interesting. Hadn't been in that heat in like 8 months. It wears you out, man. But at the end of the day now, and not much heat, I'm just like, why am I so tired? You too? Oh yeah, you were there. It was killing us, man. I got a few fish at Pinot a few days ago. At Pinot? Oh, well, you said at Pinot. But on that point? On the Great Point? Is that point like... That's good. I mean, they were out there chasing. The weird thing was that they were hitting. You think with all those active fish and all that active stuff, you'd be getting them on active baits, but they wanted a drop shot. It makes sense because they were eating things that big, just in big balls. But that was kind of the weirdest thing. You were getting them in the weeds. No, there were. Well, I don't know about now, but there were tons of them out there. That point's good though. That point's produced what? 2 11-pounders. I think I caught a 7.5 off that point. It's another big fish. That's a big fish point for some reason. My 9.5 didn't come off that point, but I've got a 7 off that point, and a 7, about 7.5 off that point. I got 8.5 off the other point. But Gramps got an 11 there. Somebody else caught an over 11 there. Probably the same fish. Who knows? We're gonna try it anyway. It's another drain lake. Yeah, but I said I think I'm gonna do a reaction video to my own video. Just to kind of sum that show up because it was just weird. I mean, most people think it was weird. My first thought was on the bottom it's smaller, but when you see it busting all that, people always think, topwater lures, active baits, jerk baits, that kind of stuff. They wouldn't hit it. They were gulping down the Little swim baits on drop shots, like crazy though. Oh really? Dude, she just went out there through a drop shot. She threw a drop shot on that point. I'm sure they're still there. I know there's a few fish like the chatterbait and stuff like that. Yeah, but if you want numbers of good fish, they're loving the drop shot right now. Probably because there's so much bait in the water. They didn't want it? Really? Well, they might have left. They didn't want it on Friday. Or Friday when I was there. Then Saturday when they moved in, they were eating it up like mad. So really getting rid of the Jeep? Nice. That's good. That's good. What'd you throw on it though? Did you throw a drop shot with like a robo worm? Because in that show, oh, why were people there? Oh yeah, I did put up a show with tons of fish on that point. That might be why there are a bunch of people there. No, the little swim bait. That's what Jacob was using. Exactly. Pick and pull, I get $200 for it. Yeah, it was a little swim bait. He was using a little 3-inch Kitech, a 3.5-inch Kitech. That's what Jacob caught on. He caught more than me that day, I think. I was using it on the. I tried it first, and I never put it on after I started catching fish on the little 3-inch stick up. But they're chasing everything they're chasing out there. It's so teeny right now. It's like 1-2 inches long. That's what you got to focus on. And I think so many were busting them. There's a lot of like injured ones and dead ones that are like floating to the bottom, and that's why we went to the bottom. That's where we started catching all the fish. Can't mimic a bait ball this big that's comprised of fish that are this big. Unless you're throwing crappie jigs. Little bluegill drop shot soft plastic. What was it? Was it a bluegill? Or was it a worm that looked like a bluegill? They're all eating all crappie out there though. Crappie don't look like bluegill. I was using glitter shad or sparkle ghost, the one I call it. Clear. It's kind of a light smoke with blue and gold black flake. I think Jacob was using a smoked. He was using a smoked Kitech, just smoke color with like black flake in it. Yeah, that day we didn't get anything on an actual worm on the drop shot. It was me with the little stick worm, a 3-inch sticko, and he was waxing like crazy on the swim bait. The little Kitech. It's a good technique. That's what I tried to start with, then I forgot about it. Then I put it on the Carolina rig, and then I started drop shotting the sticko. Yeah, I don't like I like worms on the drop shot anymore. I haven't for a while. At least like robo worm style worms. I stick with either little swim baits or this 3-inch sticko. Another really good thing that's on drop shot that most people don't fish is like a 4-inch grub, 4-inch Kalin's grub. Yeah, night crawlers. Yeah. But night crawler doesn't look like a worm when you fish it. Night crawlers look totally different. A worm kind of looks like a minnow or something swimming. It doesn't. When they see it on drop shot, its profile is not a worm. Worms they crawl and twist, and I mean if you're just kind of slightly taking them in and stuff, they don't look like a plastic worm. Yeah, was Gramps out there? Sure, they love night crawlers in there. Hey, Ken, Ash, how you doing? Yeah, it's hard to mimic a real. It's hard to mimic a real night crawler. He curls up and moves around and does things that like your worm doesn't do. Your worm's going through the water. It looks more like something swimming than it does a night crawler sitting there twisting. And plus, there's millions of night crawlers around that lake. That's why they love them so much. When that water floods, they go up in the grass and gorge on night crawlers. Really? First I've heard someone say, I almost got my PB, but, well, it fought like one. Oh, yeah. But yeah, a pound of weight you're using. Done be, I don't know. I still use worms on drop shot. Not traditional worms. Yeah, 12 pound. Yeah, you'd have a nick in it. You'd have a cut in it. I broke off. Yeah, I broke out a lot of fish on 12-pound line. Just because I never retie, I never like I should. It's strong if it doesn't have nicks in it. Could have been a PB though. You never know. I think I've had a few bigger than what I've caught that I've snapped off. But I snapped them on 17-pound and flipping on the hook set because I was an idiot. It just went way too quick when I had like 5 feet of line out. Snapped me straight off. I'm like, ooh, wow. Oh, and that one fish in the show. Speaking of that one fish in the show, the one we talked about in the Carolina rig, when I set the hook and it like didn't move and it just came straight. Next day, I noticed it bent out my hook. My little 3/0 gammy was like 1/8 of an inch up. So I must have stuck him right in the jaw or something. It just didn't hook. PP&J. I don't use PP&J much. Jig, yes. Not worms, though. Yeah, I actually, that fish you saw in the show I put up, the recent one, when I set the hook on that, it bent out my hook. I noticed it the next day. That might have been why I missed the other fish after it or something. Because, yeah, I must have stuck him like really good, just right in the jaw, like in the hardest part. And then we turned, it just popped out. Didn't penetrate that hard. It's not a bone. Is it a bone? Oh, it is a bone. Yeah. Yeah, I was there on, well, the show I'm editing right now. Yeah, um, Andrew got some hits on the big swim baits. You're using live crawdads? Nice. I don't think I've ever caught a fish on a live crawdad. Never. I've tried them a few times, but I've never caught one. Ricardo's really good. He's got some double digits on those live crawdads. And he just kind of like crawls them in with his fingers, drags them. I don't think I've ever caught one on. I've caught them on live worms, but yeah, but it's I don't know. He was getting hits on them, but he didn't catch any that day. But the hard part right now, someone gave them to me. Ricardo always tail hooks them. He's the expert on live crawdads. He always tail hooks them. I've seen him fish live crawdads a lot. He always hooks them in the tail and just tosses them out, and he holds the line the whole time. You reel in, and he just kind of just like makes them crawl backwards and stuff. Then lets them sit. Then crawls them backwards. That's how he catches them all. He does the same thing with the dead shiners. He hooks them on dead, hooks them to the nose, throws them out, and he just kind of. He doesn't even. He uses pull a little bit. He just kind of drags them slowly across the bottom. He's the master at live bait. Let me tell you. Stick it. Yeah, I don't fish live bait much, so I have caught a few. I have caught one on a live shiner once. I don't know if I have it in the show, but old show we were getting them on the flicking on the inside. Yeah, those guys were snagging them. They gave me one. I threw it out. We got a double digit. How much did it weigh? What was its exact weight? Was it like there's big fish in freaking coyote? How big was it? Was it over 10? Was it 11? I mean, there's been 13s out of coyote. That's a big ass fish, man. Yeah, Nico's worked good. Flicking works good. We're gonna do it on the Drain Lake tour. Getting ready to hit up coyote in that one. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 3. That's a monster. And it's on something as simple as a stickworm. Just a stickworm. Just a stickworm. You don't need to use, all that fancy stuff to catch big ones. Little 5, 6-inch Nico rig. Boom. 11-3. That's a good fish. June bug. Oh yeah, that does work good in there. Yeah, I have friends that used to use June bug in there all the time, and Uvis. It's a good color for this area. Works good in Pinot too. I've never caught a fish on Nico. I never fish it much. I go to the flicking. Tito fishes the Nico a lot. I've tried it a couple times, and I'm like, meh. I'm back to the flicking. I don't know. I like the way it looks and stuff, but I don't know. I just never got into it. Don't fish it if you don't need it. Add it to your repertoire. If that's the only thing I'll hit one day and you know how to fish it. But no, I just never, I don't know. Never got into that one. You should try. It is so underrated. What's so flicking? I mean, technique I use, the wacky weighted, that's underrated too. I think most people would rather go to the Nico or weightless wacky than weighted wacky. They don't know how to fish the weighted wacky right. They just like, yeah, that might work though. That's where it works best is clearer, rocky, deeper lakes, California deeper ones. I'll get back to it eventually. I caught one fish on it. I feel good. Our last Drain Lake tour, I forgot to bring it with me. I just didn't. When I left here, Tito drove. I didn't put my split shot rig in the car. I was planning on it, but I'll take it on the next leg of the tour. I mean, these lakes are so low; it's nothing but rock. Yeah, see some people, but see then people put a weight on it and they fish it. They fish the same way they fish the weightless wag, but with a weight on it. I'm like, no, you're weighting it so you can really freaking do a lot to it and make it pop and bounce and they just put it on and just kind of do the same thing. They just kind of like drag it. I'm like, no, that's what you do with this is weight it. Because if you try to get too active with it weightless, it's just going to come up all the way up off of the bottom. That's what the weight it is. Yeah, I know. Weighted's way too slow. I use the weighted wacky like a reaction bait. I'm giving it that like a shaky hit. Really, the horizontal mambo. It's just shaking like crazy. So I need a stiffer word. Seiko's for just like yeah, that's too slow. Ned rig. When I saw. See, I did that show about the Ned rig for bedfish, and I noticed that John Cruz, not John Cruz, Jacob Wheeler, his new show he just put on. He's in the one of the rivers, Potomac River or something like that. Smallmouth on the bed, using the Ned rig and drop shot. Let's just catch them all up on the bed. And those are my two favorite on the beds. Ned rig first, but you know, or a drop shot. Sometimes you want something off the bottom. It's weird. I'm going back to where you see this too. Times get tough. You go back to what works. Lakes are so drained right now. Yeah, that's why I kind of stick with them all the time because I don't like it. Try green pumpkin blue, Steve. I don't know why. I've always done better on green pumpkin, green pumpkin blue flake, blue black flake, other than just straight green pumpkin, or most of them are green pumpkin black flake. That's work. That's standard. But try the blue flake sometime. I don't know why. But the green pumpkin with the blue in it, it's more bluegill color, I think, with the little blue shimmer in it, because they have a lot of blue in their iridescence and sometimes purple. I've tried the green pumpkin purple, but I didn't have as much success on it as I did green pumpkin blue. At least the lakes around here. Yeah, the blue flake. Try that sometime. It's usually blue black flake. At least the stickers I have are blue black. All right, Chris. I might be there tomorrow live at Pinot. It's either that or El Cerro again, one of the two. I kind of want to go. I haven't been to Pinot live in a long time. I used to do them all the time. The after show lives. You're like Saturday when we're up, Chris. So I might give it a go. I have no idea. You'd have to ask Ken that one because I've never fished casitas. He's the man for that. All right, see you, Chris. He's local down there now and fishes all the time. So I don't know. I would just try the 5 colors I use, and then something's gonna work. I have like 5 colors I stick with on the drop shot, plastic wise. Jigs and stuff. I don't know. There's only like 3 or 4 different colors I use. I just run through the different shades and see what they're hitting. That's usually the way I go about it. The green pumpkin June bug. You just said June bug's a good color. That and a jig. I use the dirty craw. Oh no, dirty craw. I think it's like brown, orange, and green with the Alabama trailer on it. And black and blue. I haven't had much on black and blue though. Um, yeah, it's on a regular jig. Finesse jig, I have a couple different colors I play. Some are really bright, like pink and green. Those are fun ones. Pink and chartreuse, or brown green chartreuse. Um, I don't fish black and blue that much, so I don't know. For me, it's never been a good color. Might just be a confidence thing, or the fact I think it's overrated as a color. Dirty water and stuff in winter, yeah, but drought in summer and that, not usually. If you crawdad color or bluegilly color for a jig. PBJ. Yeah, no quarter ounce to me is a regular jig. Finesse is 3/16. I use the 3/8 when I'm flipping sometimes. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I I can't fish that. Even flipping, I don't like that. I like quarter ounce flipping. I don't know, half ounce, 3/4. It's just too heavy for me when I work it. Sticks on the bottom too much for me. I like to like, really keep moving them over and let them kind of go up and over stuff. And 3/8 and a half to me just sticks too much. Like when I get to a rock and I have to like try to pull it over it, it's like I have to hit a little too hard to get to go up and over, and it kind of messes up the action. where I just like hit it and be able to bring it up it and over it. So that's why I like quarter it lighter. Of course, you gotta be someplace where there's, not a bunch of wind. Well, I don't. I hop mine off the bottom all the time. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. People try to mimic stuff, and but nothing hooks the bottom. Even crawdads don't hook the bottom. They walk along, and then they pop. They come up off the bottom. They go back down. They pop, come off the bottom, go back down. They don't. They don't like suction to the bottom and crawl on the bottom. They're like they flick up on things and move over. Sometimes they flick off of them and float down. So if you're using a jig, you want something that's moving like that. I mean, it looks more natural to them. I want something that's just like, at times, rare times not, they only want it if it's very slowly crawling. I don't find much of a difference. Uh, no, I don't. No, Lisa, I don't. You can watch my videos the way I work jigs. It's like the same. All of mine kind of, it's the same rhythm. It's just some's a little faster, some's a little slower with the tip speed. But I'm never, I'm not working fast. I'm just going like that. And then when I hit something, I like bring it up on it and bring it over it. It's like I'm keeping it. I mean, I'll use 12-pound line. It's pretty light. It stays down there. I'll use a medium heavy rod. Sometimes on my finesse jigs, I use a medium rod. So I'm just more into making everything look natural down there. I think 90% of the time something looks natural down there, it's going to catch you more than. Oh yeah, I've never done that. I've seen it done, but it's a. Oh well, those are all ways you can work a jig or a bait that work if for some reason they're on it. But to me, that's like 10% of the time, 20%. Working it naturally and all that normally is going to work 90% of the time, 80% of the time. In certain situations, yeah, they want it stroked way off and brought back down, stroked way off and brought back down. That's all like situational. Yeah, I know how to do it. I've done it before. But I said most of those techniques, it's not the way you fish it all the time. That's a specific bite and a specific technique that might work at a specific time. Majority of the time, that's not the case. It's just, especially with jigs and stuff, that's not the case. If you can't get any on a jig and people say they're hitting a jig, try different stuff. See if they're stroking them and doing really heavy type stuff, or see if they're just crawling them on the bottom or whatever. If you can't get them to catch with your normal regular canvas that you catch all the fish on with a jig, yeah, experiment. But I don't know. I always start with the favorite. Somewhere for me stroking. Yeah, I mean it works. I've seen it work really good. I don't know. I've just never come to a point where I had to do it to catch fish. 16-inch worms, yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of, like I said, I was saying the YouTube. YouTube. I was talking about YouTube help channels and that. It's kind of the same thing with a lot of YouTube. How? So I used to watch. I used to read. I used to read these a lot. I always sat out here and read my Bassmasters. And my favorite thing to read in them was the day so far. Because, I don't know, I was just always so interested on how I'd read a situation where they told about lake, and then I'd read about how these pros handle it. And I'm like, dude, you're a half hour in to your 7 hours day so far, and you've already used 15 baits. It's like, dude, you haven't even explored one bait yet. You throw it someplace, and where do you go? Oh, throw it somewhere. No. All right, let me try this. No. All right, let me try this. All right, let me try that. I'm like, you, you haven't even explored the one bait you first tied on. You've thrown it like 5 times in a certain spot. Nope. 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 And I'll look at it in the beginning and go, yeah, I'll be like, yeah, this type of water, this type of that. If you stick out enough, they should be. And half the time, I'd find them go through all these other baits and then end up catching the fish on what I was thinking the very first thing right away. Well, this is what I would focus on. And sometimes they'd come back around and focus on that, but they spent so much time just trying this and that and this and that and this and oh this and oh that. I'm like, really? But I think that's what a lot of the YouTube channels get because they're just they're just always like, oh, we gotta try this. Oh, we gotta try that. Oh, yeah, this ain't working. We gotta try this. Oh, this ain't working. We gotta try that. Oh, this ain't working. I'm like, all right, whatever. Why do you need to try a million freaking baits in 30 to 45 minutes? It's like, look at the water, look at the conditions, and go, yeah, well, let's try what always works first. See how they're hitting. Catch a bunch on that. And maybe we'll play around with some other stuff. I always just start 1, 2, 3, 4 casts on something. Oh, try this. Oh, try that. Like, and you're a pro, really? Because they always fish the same lakes. And they know those lakes. They've been on those lakes for years. You put them like this day so far, put them on a totally different lake that they've never been on, that's small or whatever. And it's pretty amazing to read it how majority of them just cannot figure it out. Never been there before. They've been to the lake 30, 40 times. They know where to start. Ash knows the color, but they don't make it anymore. Flaming grape was one of the best colors. At least anywhere where there's shad, and they're on shad bite. Flaming grape. I call it the snow cone. They don't make the color anymore. Chartreuse, root beer chartreuse. I like that one. Um, just regular root beer. It's another really good color. I didn't fish many shad colors other than the flaming grape, which doesn't even look like a shad, but it got a hell of a lot of fish. There's a new one they have out called metallic sparkle something that's I want to use it mostly because they don't make the flavor grape anymore. Um, yeah, I actually didn't even use a crawdad color in bandits. I used a crawdad color in square in rebels. The We Are Rebel, the crawdad, the brown and tan one. That's a good color. I don't know if they make anymore. Taco Sally colors. Yeah, root beer and root beer chartreuse are really good. Those are two really good colors. They work like I have videos of me using them at Pinot and they work like hell. But the flaming grape. And then in the Norman I use the lavender shad. I think they have one called American shad. So the lavender shad's like gray with purple flake on top, violet flake on top. and basically just white on the sides. That one works really good when they're on the shaddy, minnowy type light. I did use the root beer in Norman's. Some of their crawdad colors. I think their spring crawl one has got some green and orange on it. That was a good one. Or you can just go basic, chrome and black, chrome and blue. Got a lot on those two colors. I see the root beer. Yeah, root beer is the same as root beer chartreuse. The sides are white instead of chartreuse. It's kind of it's a bluegill color. It's not root beer. It's green. It's not brown. Yeah, I don't know. I actually have three. I have three tips and tricks. Part 1, part 2, and part 3 about high-speed cranking, and the colors you choose, the rods you use, all that. It's an old video. It's probably from, I don't know. It's like 8 years old or something. Yeah, because when I first came back here, I just recently done it. I haven't done it really since then, as much as I did then. But yeah, I put it all down on video and tricks of basically light, medium, and dark colors. Want some light, some kind of a medium color, and some kind of a dark color. Depends on the watercolor and the stain. Yeah, it's online. Probably the easiest way to get to it instead of going through my channel with 1,700 videos. Go to my website, centercoastbass.com. Down at the very bottom, you hit tips and tricks. There's like 180 of them in there. All my older ones up till, I don't know, when I stopped 4 or 5 years ago. I can't do anything. I'm on my phone. I can't do a link. But no, just go to my bass at centercoastbass.com. Go to tips and tricks. There's like 180 of them all in order. There's like 7 per page. Click on them. At the title tells you what the video is. They're linked to YouTube. And you can just go through. I think it was, I don't know, you'll find it in there. There's part 1, part 2, part 3. Yeah, there's part 1, part 2, part 3. I don't know how many pages I have on there, but yeah, you click on them, you scroll down, they're all embedded in it. Title on top says it. And they're all 3 consecutive in a row. Probably like 2 or 3 pages in, something like that. It's hard to find them on my website because unless you know the exact title and you're trying to type in search on my channel, a lot of times, once I think I know, and I'm like, oh, and it says no, nothing available. No, Ben Severell. Ben Severell. Doesn't matter if it's silent or not. It still makes tons of noise when it comes through the water with the hook shaking and all that other stuff. Rattles add a little bit, but I just like them because they're little, they're compact. Small bearing on them. I mean small bearing. Spider right here. Oh, another thing. Another thing on high-speed cranking. Well, you'll learn in the video, but take out the fucking split ring. $8 a piece. I don't know. They weren't that much when I bought them. Yeah, they don't. I mean, they have a rattle in them. I don't know if it makes a difference. But yeah, take off the split ring and use the number 1 or number 2 dual lock. I think it's number 1 was the one I used. It's not that big. It's like that big. Dual lock. But that way you don't have to untie them each time. It's a little clip. Okay. Yeah, and you can, and that's what I use. And the way that it's set, it runs it better than the having the split ring on there because it's a lot smaller and it's flatter. But yeah, a number one dual lock because I would just switch them out. I would have like, you know, 4 or 5 crankbaits on my deck, and I'd just like work an area with one. I'd flip back through 2 seconds to switch to the other one, work back through it. Or if I was on a school of them, I'd throw through them and catch a bunch, and all of a sudden they wouldn't want it, so I'd flip it, change it to a slightly different color, start throwing it in the same spot. And after 2 or 3 casts, all of a sudden, if there were a big school, you'd suddenly get like 4 or 5 more. Then they wouldn't touch it. And I'd switch to a different color and throw it back out there in the same spot. And I'd just rotate through the colors. It's really amazing that and usually, once you switch to the first color, going through like light, medium, and dark, first 2 or 3 casts, they won't touch it. But the second you hook one, it's like lights out for at least like 4 or 5 fish after that. And then it'll just do the same thing. They won't touch it. And you put on a different color, you start throwing it, and just work in the same area. Usually the first 3 or 4 casts, nothing. But the second you hook one, it's like all the rest of them want it. Until you catch like 4 or 5 of them, 6 of them, and then they won't touch it again. It's like 4 to 6 feet. You gotta remember, there's a lot of fish that sit down about 6 feet. It's just shallow. You're hitting 4 to 6 feet. Usually, I'm casting over. I don't know. Usually, my angle, either it's a steep bank or rocky bank or a weed edge, it's usually out in about 10 feet of water, the edge, and I'm reeling that 6 feet down. Yeah, I use mono because I like it to stay up more than sink. You use mono when you want to crank or something to go deeper than it's made for. But usually with the mono, 12 pound. I use 12 pound. It'll usually keep the crank at its registered depth. And now split ring's heavier, it doesn't work as well. That little number one dual lock, at least for high speed cranking and keeping it true, it works a lot better than the split ring. And you can switch it out. Usually cranking, high speed cranking, it's a slight different color depending on the water and all that, but it's just so you can just, oh, no, try this one. I mean, you're reeling it so fast, you're making so many casts, it doesn't take you long to figure out if they want it. Yeah, mine were, I don't know, mine were ones I just ordered from where I get all the stuff to make my baits and that, but just a steel little number one dual lock. It's rather small. I think it's only rated for like, I think it's rated for like 15-pound line, something like that, 15 pound. I mean, it's steel, but yeah, that smaller size. Number two, you get away with it, but I'm pretty sure I use number one all the time. It looks pretty small, but yeah, it helps them run so much better. See my line. I got yeah, if you're deep cranking, yeah, fluoro's better. Cuts through the water better. When you're shallow, you want something that like mono, a little bit more diameter, a little more weight, floats. It keeps them running better. Yeah, and the split rings are, I mean, it's thick. It's double. Unless you tie it right where they go between the two. No, dual lock, it's all the same size. No, not brakes on the split ring. No, the dual lock. Wait, what? Would your brakes have the dual lock or brakes have the split ring? Yeah, but the dual lock is better because it's all just wire. It doesn't have that little metal thing where you hook the thing in. It's just all. It just runs. They run better with it. Yeah, it's plus, like I said, you can switch them out like that. I mean, it's less bulk in front of it. Why will they hit? I don't know. It just gets them going. Yeah, that's what I said. The dual lock doesn't have that. I don't know. Can't tell you, Ash, but it's. I've had a lot of experiences where I've been in schools of fish on the crankbait and rolled up on them on one color and caught a bunch and then nothing. Then switched to my other color, nothing for the first 3 or 4 casts, and then once one bit it, it was another 3, 4, 5, 6 fish in a row, and then they'd stop on that and I'd switch. And it was the same cycle. I did it for like an hour and a half on the school, and I caught I think over 40 fish in an hour and a half. But you had to keep rotating through the different colors, and sometimes I put on one that was kind of the same color but a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. Yeah, they would never hit it. Once I changed the color and threw it out, they would it would usually take 3 or 4 casts before someone would hit it, and then it just was lights out for the next 4, 5, 6 casts. I don't know. Maybe they were just jealous. They're like, you know, went through it, and everybody's like, man. All of a sudden, John bites it. Oh shit! John grabbed it, dude. Get that color. Get that color. It's good. Yeah, that's what I found. Definitely more action to it. Yeah, I never got this one on film though. I should have, but I've done a lot in the fall. I'll search around with a bait, and suddenly I'll find a wolf back and catch like a bunch in a row, and then nothing, and then I'll switch colors, or maybe something a little bit bigger, a little small, similar color, and start casting in the same area again. And I might pick up like 1 or 2 fish. I don't know. I guess maybe they're dumb. It's like I don't know. Some other fish suddenly hits it, they all want it. It just takes that one dumb one to hit it, and then everybody else goes, "Ooh, let's eat that." I don't know. It's just the way it works, or the way I found it works. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just the way it works. I think that's the problem with a lot of bass fishermen too. So come on to a spot like that, especially back in the day when you didn't have all your electronics and your front view and all that. You hit a spot and all of a sudden 4 or 5 fish in a row. You're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, there's all different sizes in school. But you get a lot of people that hit a spot and catch a bunch and be like, oh, yeah. And then they'll throw the same crank out a bunch of times, same spot, and be like, dude, there's nothing else here. We caught the whole school. Let's keep going. They would have just switched up colors or sizes and kept throwing. They might have caught, who knows? I caught 40 in like an hour and a half off the same little bridge. out in the middle of nowhere. They were stacked on it. Yeah, you never know. I mean, they were just stacked on it. There were a bunch of shad over it. The bridge was about 6 feet under the water. I could actually feel my lures hit the bridge, the cement, or the asphalt. And I'd just cast so far. Yeah, I caught 40 an hour, hour and a half. Smallmouth and largemouth. It was insane. And there was a guy in shore watching me the whole time. He bought my DVD that I had of my shows. He told me he's never seen anybody, even like Bill Dance, do that. He goes, I don't even know what you're doing. You're casting in the middle of nowhere. He didn't know there was a bridge under there. He thought it was just like out in the middle of the lake or out in the middle of this. It was kind of a cove that went in, but all the boats had been going into the cove and around, and I was sitting out in the place. He'd never seen any of them go. He goes, there's been like 5 boats that have gone by you, and they've all gone in here, gone in that cove. I've never seen anybody fish right there. I went, oh, well, there's a bridge right here. There's a bridge that goes across from the old road that used to be here, and they're all stacked up underneath it, evidently. I was even calling the fish before I caught them because I was casting just enough. I felt my lure hit the asphalt right before the edge. So it would start to drag a little bit, and then it would release and go over the edge. And I'd throw out, and I'd hit it, and I'm like, oh, there should be one. Yep, there it is. He's like, did you just call that fish before you caught it? I'm like, yeah, well, I can feel the edge, and I know it's coming off it. And they're all sitting underneath it, and the shad are cruising on top. And they're coming out from under the bridge to hit him and going back under. And yeah, it was funny. He thought I was the best fisherman he'd ever seen in his world, in his life. Well, trust me, I can come back to the spot tomorrow or the next day, and they're not going to be here. They just had to be here now. I got lucky, but I know enough that I was able to keep catching them. And the funny thing is, see, people, this is in the middle of the day. The sun was on the spot, right? And people go, oh, evening. Around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, the way the hills are, suddenly the shade came across my spot. I never caught another fish on it. I spent like 45 minutes going through all the cranks and everything, tried some other different type lures, and that was it. It was like full sun on it, middle of the day with wind. And then once that shade hit it and that, they just disappeared. They was done. And I never found them again. I went back there, I think, like a week later. Got a couple off that bridge. Actually, no, what it was, I think I went a day or two after that, tried it. I caught a couple, nothing like that day. Caught a couple. And I think we had a tournament that Saturday. I think it's like a Monday or something. I was out there kind of playing around, spear fishing. And we're back on Saturday. And in a tournament, it was hard because it was way back in the cove, and it was a 5-mile-an-hour cove. But he was fishing. Yeah, shade killed it. Once that shade hit it, it was done. You gotta remember, in the bright daylight and that, when the sun's out, they can see those shad in that really well. When they're moving around, they're flickering and everything else. Once shade gets on them, when they move around, there's not much flicker and brightness off them. And that killed it. They couldn't see him as well, and it just completely died. But we went back to the tournament. We tried it twice during the day. That was their version. And we tried it 2 different times during the day because I said it was a long idle back in and it took time from us hitting our other spots. Yeah, it killed their vision. Yeah, they couldn't see him as well. And so around 3:30, I think around 3 o'clock, weigh-in was at 3:30, and I told my partner, Jason, it was my boat, but he was my partner. I'm like, all right, we're gonna go try that bridge one more time. He's like, dude, we've already been there 3 times. You haven't even got a bite. I'm all, I know there's fish around it though. Maybe there'll be one good one. Yeah, I think the water temp was surface temp. It's in the middle of summer. It's probably around 80, in the 80s. That lake got up into like 86 in the summer. Might have been 86. I don't know. So it was probably high 70s in the 80s. But yeah, we went back in there, and my second cast, I got a 4.5 pounder. Only fish I caught the whole day off that freaking bridge. And that was that we had to go back that far. It was right by the launch. That's why I planned to go in it before we had. So we just idled the launch, waited. I think that 4.5 pounder. We got third or second in the tournament, but I think that was like second big fish or something like that. Oh yeah, this is all summertime, man. This is Summertime's the best time for high speed cranking. It's going a little bit in the spring. It's going a little bit in the pre-spawn. It's going in the spring. Post-spawn, and then summer through fall, lights out, dude. It's lights out on that technique. Yeah, I only hammered it the one day. I went back and checked it out a couple days later and only caught a few, but it was tournament coming up, so I didn't fish it that much. And I saved it for the tournament, and we went back, and there was just nothing there until that last 4.5 pounder. Well, yeah, actually, I mean, yeah, it was. The 40 fish I caught, they weren't that big. A lot of the smallies, well, that lake doesn't have big smallies. A lot of the smallies were like pound and a half. A lot of largemouth were like 2, maybe hitting 3. But in the tournament, I think that was the first one I caught that was 4 pound, 4.5 off that spot. It's not they were big. It was just so fun. And they were all good keepers. I mean, they were solid fish. Yeah, and that's the same spot I caught in that video unexpected big catch. I have the 18 pound 1 ounce channel cat. I caught it off that bridge. I think it was a week or 2 later. Even the channel cats were in there like rolling for the shad on the surface. And yeah, I was getting ready to do a show on the rattle trap, so I was checking it out, and that's where I ended up snagging that 18 pound channel. It was right at that bridge. Yeah, I used the Bandit that day. I used the Norman. I don't even remember when I was fishing back then. It was mostly just the Bandit and the Norman. The little Ed Norman. It's a little bit bigger. It's 2.5. It's a really teeny little bill. But yeah, the Bandit I use most. More like the square bill. I think I might have even thrown the Rebel We Are over them. And I might have tried some other variations just because it seemed like you had to throw something different at them to get them going again. But my 2 favorites are the Bandit, the 100 series Bandit, and the Norman Little End. They also have a little end, the little end. There's a deep little end, there's a little end. I think that's one that's 2.5. And there's a little end, or just the end or whatever. It's only like 2.5. I use those too. Yeah, in that lake. I never done follow up bait's another crank. No, there's follow up bait on surface. When you're cranking, it's another crank. If they're on that, I mean, you might try a bladed jig or a spinnerbait or something, but no, it's just a different crank. They're already on the crank pattern. There's no. If I missed, I didn't. You know, I never thought about throwing anything like that on them. They were hitting the crank, so I just kept rotating the cranks, and just it was just lights out. I didn't even fish Senkos back then. Ah, no, I didn't have much follow up time. I mean, I would catch like 4, 5, 6 fish in a row, and then 3 casts with nothing. I wouldn't go, oh, maybe I'll try a worm on it. I'm like, all right, well, let's try a slightly different colored crank on. And yeah, I said it was weird because you throw it out, usually 3 or 4 casts with nothing, but the second one hit it, you were guaranteed 3, 4, 5, 6 fish in a row every cast after that, and then the cycle would repeat. It was just I mean, I'm not going to slow down on that at that point. I'm like, all right, let's give him this. Let's get. I mean, there were hundreds and hundreds of bass there. I could have slowed down, and I didn't even fish. I didn't even throw plastics back then. Nothing. It was all surface lures or cranks. But I'm sure you probably could have slowed down. But it was kind of windy back there at the time. it was it was a pretty stiff 10 to 12 mile an hour wind going through there. It was hard for me. I don't, back then in the early 2000s, you didn't have spot lock. So, dealing with the wind and keep myself in that spot to keep hammering them with cranks to try and sit there and throw like a Senko or something like that on. And they weren't, I mean, I don't know. They weren't on the bottom. They were just underneath that bridge. The bottom of the bridge to the bottom was probably like another 10, 12 feet. If you'd have thrown some, I don't know, and that kind of wind trying to throw something. No, I didn't even think about it. I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna switch up. I'm gonna switch up. This is heavy wind coming through here. I need an active bait, a fast bait. They're on it. And they just went nuts on it. I don't even think I had another rod in the boat. Baby end. There you go. Yeah, the little end and then the baby end. I use those too. All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and let me grab my crank box. I still have a crank box that has all these lures in it. Well, I'm talking to you guys about it. I might as well show them. All righty. Well, this became a crankbait show, but I got them all here still. Immature, these are really old. Hey, Richard came in. This is interesting. No, I You guys are here. I'm talking about it. I'm like, duh. I'm an idiot. I have them all sitting in my freaking closet. I mean, they're all here, and these are all from that time. I still have these bays from early 2000s when I was cranking a lot. So here's the little end. See, this is the little end. See, it doesn't have a square bill. Or it kind of does, but it's teeny. But see, it has this. See how far that sticks out? It's really easy to bend to adjust it so it runs straight. I don't know. I tried this color. I never got anything on it. This has no hooks. These are the baby ends. Same bill, actually. Yeah, that's the little end, and that's the baby end. As far as deep cranking, I did use the deep end. I don't know if I have one on here. Yeah, I did experiment. But that's the color I liked. I mean, oh, here it is. There we go. That's the lavender shad. Not much to it. It's basically just gray and white, but it has, oh, you can see it there. It has lavender sparkle in it. That's all there is to it. Close, unrealistic, freaking cross-eyes on it. I mean, look at how fake those eyes are. Hello. They're together. It's like a clown. Hello, look at my eyes. That's still the way it makes them today. Oh, here's another one. Here's the, I forget which one this is called. Really? Really? Okay, lavender shad. That's the big one I used to fish, the lavender shad. See, it's just gray on top of that. This is the other one I found some success on. I forget what this one's called. Kind of the same exact thing, but a little bit of it's kind of a, I don't know, blackie, but it's got all that green flake on the top. A little bit of orangey under there. But it's just simplistic. It's just that color on top of the flake and white. Just like the lavender shad. It's a little gray on top and just white on the side. Straight white. Not fancy. Oh, here's one of their, this is their spring craw. I like this color a lot. Spring craw, just green with the orange on the side. I said that's the baby end. Douse it. What? Yeah, that's one of the colors I use for them. Usually, you know, in the spring, that when you're going for craw. Here's the one that Ash really wants. Let me set it over there for a second. Gotta relight my cigarette. Douse it. Nicholas, what's up, Nick? Wow, I actually haven't put any in here in a while. Sorry, it's been all bait talk so far. I figured you would be, Ash. Okay, here's the. Well, they're all stuck together, but okay, I'm back. Wait, you missed it already. There's the We Are crawdad color I like. That's like a really good rebel We Are color, and that's how We Ares are. I've caught them on this We Are too, baby bass. This one works really well too. Just simple freaking chrome and black or chrome and blue. It's a simple We Are. I think they still make these. It's the original friggin' square bill. Where's the bandit? Oh, here's the bandit flaming grape. This is the flaming grape. See, it's like gray on top. It's kind of lavender, grayish lavender on top with the purple flakes. Has the pink or reddish right there, and then the back is chartreuse. Saving what? Baby stone crow hair. Yeah, it looks like all the snow cone. I mean, look at the color on the bottom. It's like it's hard to see in this light, but it's like orange in the front, and then all this back here is all chartreuse underneath. And it's just white in the side with that gray with the purple. That's like that thing's really good. In waters where there's shad. There's a shad bite on. And I also have, this is a cool color too. This is almost like a Tennessee shad. Wait. Yeah, the bandit. It's kind of a square bill. It's not really a square bill, it's rounded. It's kind of like the We Are. The We Ours is a little more square, but even the We Are, it's still rounded on the edges. It's not completely square. But I have these. Or these little ones. See, that one's well, it's a little bit rounded. It's not that square. But these are old. I forget what these are. They're Bill Norman. I forget which shad this is. That's really good color. It's like a ghost Tennessee shad. With the orange underneath. It's got the green on top with the scales, but it's clear with the mirror in the middle. You can't really see it. We can see glare from. It's clear, but it's got the mirror in the middle. Yeah, that was a good one. I still have. They don't make these anymore. They haven't made these in years, but I still have 4 of them. I still have 4 of them, all in the same color. Actually, I think the top one is just a little bit smaller. That was a little bit smaller and a crawdad color. But see, it's hollow. I mean, it's clear and it's hollow inside with the mirror. With the hooks? Wait, what? No, these hooks I know I didn't change hooks out. All these hooks are what come on them, number 6. These are just number 6 hooks on them. Can't really go any bigger. If you go any bigger, they actually hook in the middle. They hook in the middle and it'll foul it. No, most of these sizes have a number 6 on them. That's the size for them. I'm gonna have somewhere here. That's another bandit. I never caught much on this one. Getting some We Ares and bandit. This is another 100 bandit. It looks like a cool color. It looks like a really cool color, but I've never caught any on it. I thought it looked good like a bluegill, like a darker bluegill. Like, didn't work. Also thought this one looked really good. What about tenders? I can't get it undone, but this is another one I thought for a darker bluegill. The bandit in that. I've caught some on this one, but it like depends on the water. If you have clear water, not greenish, but clear water, when the water's dark and clear, and that this one will work better. At least, you know, as far as a bluegill color, because they turn that dark. Yellow eye, I don't know. Oh no, that one has yellow eyes. This one has red eyes. I don't know. I don't look much into the color of the eyes. Let's see. I also use to fish these. You want chicken? Go get chicken, man. You want chicken? Go get chicken. Who are we to keep you from chicken? You want chicken? Go get chicken. You work at a chicken place. You have right tons of chicken in your fridge. On a diet, Richard. These are other ones I use right here too. You guys know what brand that is? I don't even know if they still make these. That's definitely a square bill. See that bill? I'm hungry. I'm gonna die. Anybody tell me the maker of that? I have 3 of them, I think. Yeah, I have some more of them. All different colors. That one's kind of blue on top. This one's gray on top. This one. Oh, that is it. Yeah, man's. It's been 4 days and I've already lost weight. Well, good for you, Nick. Yep, I tried those too. I use those. That was usually when I was using the bandit net, and if they stopped hitting, like when I was on school or something, I'd usually try it, something like that. Yeah, they're hard to track. They don't track that well. I took a lot of tuning and everything. When I go a little bit deeper, I use these. This is the Bandit 200 series. It goes down like what, like 8 feet, something like that. But all the same colors, sort of. See, I tried all these kind of colors that are more shady in that. The man's baby, yeah. That kind of. I tried all these. The others work better, at least color-wise. McDonald's. See, there's the little end in the lavender. Caught a lot of like 4, 5, 6 pound bass on this, the lavender shad. I don't know. I tried this one. This is more, I don't know, this is kind of a blue-gray color than that. Kind of clear. Not with the white. Yeah, I didn't catch much on this one. I don't know why. But this one I used to have. This is a color I've never caught a freaking fish on. This was the Bill Dance. Remember they had an American shad? They called it with like the yellow on it and that blue and it's a little bit of red under there. But that color with the yellow mixed in and the dot in it. Tried to haul that thing summer when shed around. I can catch freaking fish on it. Yeah, the lavender. That's what I said. It's lavender white. Oh, here's another bandit. This is a brand new bandit. Flaming grape, baby. The other one's actually had a crack in it. I glued it. But yeah, this is actually brand new, I think. I didn't even look. I've tuned it. It's been thrown a little. But yeah, that's a flaming grape bandit. So it says colors that, you know, it's colors that aren't flamboyant. They don't look like cool. Go bring me something. I don't know. I think that's a lot to it. They don't look realistic. Men's minus. Yeah, I just don't think people want to throw more of the stuff that looks like man's minus. But yeah, this is the other one. That's a really good color. I forget what they call this one. Just like it's, they say dark gray with green flake. On the side is like Just white with rainbow colored flake in it. Nothing fancy. It's not meant to look like. Yeah, they still make these. All these Normans you can still get. All the bands you can still get. I don't know about the bands. Yeah, I have it. I don't know. All the fish I caught, they weren't chasing them. I never fished cranks or anything like that on busting fish. Never. Even over that bridge, they weren't busting. They weren't busting shad. They were over that bridge. They were eating them 6 feet down because the shad were above the bridge. It wasn't a busting thing. It was just hitting them underwater with something that's goes down about that level. Yeah, and these are the baby end deeps. I use those too. I use mine on that. These go down maybe 6 feet. See, that one's even tuned. Richard Gray, what? But you can see that. I don't know if you can see it. See how bent that thing is? It's like bent like slightly to the left. The eye on the bill. That's so it would run straight. 'Cause even these are run fast because they don't have much resistance. You just burn them. Yeah, they still have lavender shad. So you think, where's my chicken? You think this will work better, you know? I mean, this is kind of clear, but this looks more like, I don't know. It's just that white. White in the lavender and the white in that other one. The bandits, flaming grapes, just white on the side. I mean, I have a bunch of other colors I tried. Some of these that look different. This one's more like kind of like a rainbow trouty kind of looking. Let me check. And she tuned that sucker. Yeah. I mean, most of these, if you look at them, they're all pretty bent. Some crank colors in here. Good discussion. All right, Ash. There's the other one. See, I have a bunch of those. It was this one and the lavender shed. Those are two I always threw, like constantly. They didn't want one. They seemed to want the other. There's another one I tried, a lighter color and stuff. Again, that's an over little end. Oh, here's another one of the spring craw color in a little end. Orange with the green. Oh, I do have one there. No, that's one of mine. I use the deep little end when I want to go deep. Kind of, this is actually one of ours I was going to produce. But if you get the deep little end, it's the same thing as the little end, but it goes down about 8 to 10 feet. That's a good one. Yeah, I experiment a lot with different colors, but I mean, I tried more of this ghosty one. It's kind of like a ghost sexy ship. There's some yellow in it and stuff. Now we're going deep. No, those ones are like 8 feet. That's not deep. Deep is like 22, 23, 15 feet. No, I only, those only go down to like 8 to 10, maybe. This style, that's only like 10 foot. Like the little end, at least. The deeper little end. Yeah, but those are, oh, in here. I still have this bait. I can't believe I still have this bait. Oh, here's another one I tried. This is another good one, too. Simplistic as hell. It's chrome and blue. 10's deep to me? Oh, I thought you were fishing way deep. I just had to clean up a mug that a cat broke and then start trying to eat. Oh, I'd rip a square bill through that. I ain't going deep. You're fishing shallow ripping water. You're not fishing deep. That's the worst thing to do, man. That's the worst thing to do. Don't dig the bottom with a deep crank like that. Not that shallow. I'm gonna cry. You gonna cry? Don't cry. Come up here. I'll console you, man. You don't have to cry. Don't cry. We're talking fishing. Don't cry though. I don't know. I mean, yeah, at times it works, but fish like to feed. I know people get jumping on, but they prefer to feed upward than downward. There you go. Get your chicken at home, baby. Who needs Chick-fil-A? Make it yourself. No, rip a high-speed crank over them in that shallow water. I don't want a Scotch shed. Yeah, I know it's something different and all that, but and here's the funny thing: I still have this crank, guys. Oh shite! Oh shite! Oh damn it all! It's cut. Oh. Somehow the hooks went underneath the edge. 10 feet is not shallow. Yeah, 10 feet shallow. Hey, Richard. I gotta get this thing out of here. Come on. Oh, don't go back in there. Shit. You know how hard it is. Richard, really? That's what Richard does. Come on. Probably wasn't Richard. I hope it wasn't, but okay, there we go. Woo! Sorry for that, whatever that was. Not me. I, I don't know. I just saw you. Doesn't matter. They've done that to us before. Not me. I don't know. It might have been. Anybody can come up with a name. But this bait caught me a big fish. He perfect penis. I only caught it for a second. I wasn't looking. Okay, I don't know. I see a penis again. Should I let it in? Oh no, it's not. Oh, it's not a penis. It's a dick. All right.
I don't know who that was, but that was not me. You were looking down too, and this guy's just showing his wiener, and I was waiting on you to look up.
This bait right here, ugliest, weirdest I've ever owned in my life.
Is that the same guy that showed his ass that day?
Who knows? But yeah, I caught a 5 pound 3 ounce bass on this with 10 minutes ago in the tournament. Got big bass, and we ended up getting third place.
That's
I've
pretty
never
cool.
thrown it in my life.
All right, I just wanted to hop up and say that wasn't me, but yeah,
I didn't even know you saw me. I wasn't looking.
I don't
Second
know.
I glanced up, I saw it for a second and it disappeared.
Well, I think the funniest part was right after he came up, I was scrolling through TikTok on my phone, and one of the TikToks said, "Nice cock," right after he came up.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
All right. Well, I'm getting off and going to bed. That was enough for me to see tonight.
All right. Well, at least you came in and opted out of it.
Yeah,
You're like, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
it
You never know.
wasn't me. I
I
have a
know.
better. Any
I
new
didn't really
guns?
look at it. Yeah, I didn't look at it because I'm doing this, and I just saw it said you, so I hit it and hit OK, and I let it in.
Yeah, mine looks
It.
better. Yeah, I did. I did get a new gun, but
Yeah.
I'm up to
No, that said I
4.
let it in.
Yeah, it in.
I let it
Yeah,
in.
I'm gonna make a video on the new gun. It's. I will tell you this. It's a 30-06, and that's all I'm gonna say. So I'll probably. I don't know. I might get. I might bring it on live sometime, but I have it put up right now, and I'm in bed and I'm tired. So I will. Yeah, that was pretty
Audio.
funny. All right. Well, I gotta go back and get my screenshots. No, I'm kidding.
All right.
I'm kidding. Yeah, it's a hunting rifle. Got a scope and all that on it. So, all right. Well, I'm off.
All
I
right.
will be in the chat.
Go get your
Goodbye.
screenshot.
Goodbye.
All right. Well, there's my crank collection, guys. I said I pretty much only use 3 different colors: light, medium, and dark. See, even it's weird because you guys are the lavender one. Lavender Savage is gray on top. I considered light. The one with the green on, black on top of the green, I considered sort of medium. And then dark ones were, yeah, I have a video on it too where I go through all those. I did a video through all my vintage old cranks. Yeah, light, medium, and dark. But I found that, even chrome or white, chrome or white, not, most of them now, everything looks so fancy. Like it has all these looks on it, like those ones I showed you, the bluegill one and the river bream one they're all made up to look more natural. I have another in now. Yeah, to me, the more realistic they looked as a crankbait compared to just something more generic like gray and lavender, flake and white on the side nut. I'll try them in 10 feet. Yeah, 10 feet. That's usually the water I fished in. 10 to 12 feet, 6 feet down. Usually steeper banks. Yeah, they're 8 to 9 now. See, when I used to get them, they're like $4, I think. 4 or $5. I think they just went up to like $5 when I bought them, or 4.49 or something. Yeah, I know they're expensive now. But no, yeah, 6 feet down and 10 feet of water. Perfect. That's where you want to run them. You don't want to run them 6 feet down and 7 feet of water or 8 feet of water. you want you want about almost the same distance of water under them as above them. You want at least 4 to 5 feet under them. Try the high speed over the top of them, man. So what you're doing is pretty much mimicking a feeding bite. Like I said, with that, it's reaction. They might hit that when they're not even hungry. Where the thing on the bottom you're cranking. No, I said when you're doing it on the bottom and digging it, that's that's like if you're doing a jig or something, that's an eating bite. When you're running those over the top of them, that's more of a reaction bite. That'll trigger them when they're not even in the mood to eat. when you're just wiggling something on the bottom, you're looking for fish that are looking to come over and grab something in the active mood. But that thing ripping over them, they can't. It's a reaction. They're just like they do it. It's instinctual. It's just like go get it. Slow. I mean, on cranking a slow bait, don't just chugging on the bottom like that. It's not a reaction, you know. It's you're looking for feeding, and if you get them on that, you probably get them on a jig or something on the bottom the same way. But you run that through the middle fast, and it's a reaction, right? It's an instinctual reaction. They just want to go grab it. They go nuts. They have no control. It's just instinctual. They're following something on the bottom, and they're like nose up to it and watch it. Like you said, might just like swipe at it, get foul hooked. But that shit, they're all out on that. They instinctively just want to engulf it. Even when it's cold water too. Cold water, you still hook them. It's usually back hook. When they're full on into it, it's front hook, back hook. I mean, they swallow the thing. Especially, you know, most people talk, oh, it's summertime, warm water. They're lethargic. They don't want to eat. Bullshit. They're warm water fish. Their metabolism's at its most at like 75 to 85 degrees. That's when they're the most active and their body's burning off the most calories, and that's when they have to eat the most. And that's the time everybody goes, oh, the water's up in the 80s surface and that the fish are going to be lethargic. I'm like, what? Why would they be lethargic when their body is burning off calories a mile a minute? Their body is just, they're cold blooded. It's warm water. Their body's just ripping off calories. It's, they have to eat to keep up with that volume of metabolism and that speed of their body burning energy. It's just like one of the myths. And that's when they see my giant plugs. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That's the way everybody thinks. I'm going to grind something big along the bottom. But, yeah, high speed, freaking cranking those little baits. I said, I've got a 9 on it. I've got 8.5 on it. I've got a 7.5 on it. I've got tons of 6 and 5s on it. They just eat that thing up. I mean, they're just not used to people fishing them that fast. Yeah, but I said, yeah, that's what she tried, but it's reverse. There's, I did that show on that about biology bites and all that. There is no correlation between size of a bass and the size of prey that it feeds on. There's no correlation. Big bass will eat things an inch or two long. They might also be able to eat something bigger than that, but they don't intentionally target it. They target the easiest meal they can find. Plain and simple. There's absolutely no correlation. I mean, look at what this weekend at Coyote, my friend, on a stick worm, a Nico rig, 11-pound, 3-ounce. 11-pound, 3-ounce, that little worm, you go, that big of a bass? It's not going to eat that little thing. Why would it bother? Well, it did. and it was 11 pounds, 3 ounces. A lot of big fish are caught on little baits. You just got to know where they are. Yeah, I told the story about how that technique came to me. High-speed cranking technique. Yeah, they don't care. There's no correlation. They've done catches of big bass and small bass the same area in that. 6, 7, 8, 9 pound bass have the same size fish inside their stomach that the 2 and 3 pounders had. Every once in a while, maybe they might find one with a little bit bigger fish in the stomach, but they all had the same size bait in them. Didn't matter the size of the fish. They usually prefer like 2 to 3 inch fish. Because a lot of it has to do with handling time. People don't think about handling time. They don't have hands. They have to catch them, manipulate in their mouth, spend the time to swallow them and all that. And bigger baits have more surface area inside them, right? Less surface area inside them. So it actually takes their body and their stomach longer to break down a bigger fish. They get smaller fish, 3 to 4 inch, more surface area. Their body can break them down quicker and turn them into energy a lot quicker than one big fish in their stomach. And when it's summertime and they're active and their body's burning fuel like crazy, they need that bait to be transferred to energy as quick as possible. And that's why they target 3 to 4 inch creatures most of the time, no matter the size. 1, 2 pound bass up to 8, 9, 10 pound bass. They want to return with the energy. We think, it's kind of like humans. We eat a big 12-ounce steak. We're sleeping on the couch for like 2 hours, and then it's like taking forever for it to break down in our stomach. Take a couple snacks, all that. Guess what? You break it down quick, you're hungry again. They don't want to be sitting on the bottom waiting for something to digest and break down slowly, and they're not getting much energy when their body's like, come on, dude. And they're like, I can't eat. I ate something too big. It's stuck in my stomach. I gotta wait for it to break down. Well, you're gonna lose some weight, buddy, because that's just gonna take forever to get enough energy to give you more weight right now because your body's moving 1,000,000 miles an hour. And that's what you learn as me, as a wildlife biologist. That's what you study. That's what you learned in school. Is a lot of the biology of how their body takes energy, returns energy, and assumes energy and stuff. And that's not the way it's taught to us as fishermen or fish magazine. Oh, bigger baits, bigger fish, bigger baits, bigger fish. No! Maybe once in a while, but there's no correlation between it. It's just not what they search out. They prefer a certain size, 3 to 4 inches. Even if they're bigger, it's easier to eat it. That's handling time. Less energy spent. Energy's quicker in their stomach. Energy burns down quicker. Energy gives them more vitalists and ability to keep going and moving because their metabolism is working like crazy. That's kind of on my side of it. That's kind of the hardest thing to explain to fishermen. And a lot of it's because of the YouTube rhetoric and a lot of the popular baits that fish ponds and they're just it's just false information. It ain't nothing that's gonna help you. I've been reading it and knowing about it for 40 years. But like I said, I mean, Steve, yeah, I mean, a lot of those that it's just, I said, 89% of the time, what I'm talking about, the way I fish, will catch fish. There's a 20% of the time where there's just something unique about grinding deep cranks in shallower water and stuff like that that for some reason they like. But it's usually niche specific. All right, see you, Richard. I don't know. Me as a fisherman, the way I fish, okay, so okay, I got you here. So I'm fishing something that's not unique, but catches a lot of fish 80% of the time. And you're using something unique that might catch fish 20% of the time. If you're out in the water a lot and you're fishing a lot, which would you rather fish? Something that catches fish 80% of the time on average, or a niche type of technique that might catch fish 20% of the time in the right situation? It's a numbers game. It's like Vegas. If I can bet on 80% compared to 20, I'm gonna do it every time. That's the thing that's hard for fishermen. And you said it right there in this. The unique part. Yeah. It's like that's what it's like, oh, it's unique, it's different. They haven't seen it. Yeah, I've fished it and they've seen it and they don't like it. Or they don't like it that much compared to what I can use that's not as unique, but I just fish it differently and more effectively. That's the whole difference. The square bills, my pattern. Everybody's pattern is to knock it off stuff, hit stuff. You read any article about square bill, the first thing they're going to tell you is you need to bank it off stuff. You need to hit stuff. You need to, bang it off things. And I'm like, I've reckoned me catching 1,835 bass in Margarita in 6 months. 1,835 bass, only fishing a high-speed square bill. And I fished like 3-4 days a week. That's all I fished. That was when I was learning a technique and really like going all out just to try and fish that one technique. Sure, early in the morning, if I went, you say I only went out till I had like 3. I fished till like 3 till dark, 4 till dark, only like 3 hours a day. But I caught 1,835 fish, and only 235 of them were under 12 inches. Most of them were. No, I never hit cover. I never tried to hit cover. I never focused on cover. Every once in a while, accidentally, I'd hit something. Never. And I'm telling you right now, I'll put it out to you guys. If you can find an article about how to fish a square bill that tells you not to hit cover, I could almost guarantee you $1 million if you can find one. Because they don't exist. Everybody that tells you how to fish a square bill, it's going to be focused on knocking cover, knocking wood, hitting rocks, bouncing it off stuff. I did it for like 5 years. There are none. I can bet you. I seriously could honestly bet you $1 million that you could not find an article about fishing a square bill that does not tell you that you need to bank it off or hit objects constantly. And I did it for years, caught that many fish in a 6-month period, never hitting anything. Never. I fished it out just enough that it was just above the bottom. But usually on 45-degree banks or on an edge that when I was fishing it, it was about halfway up in the water column. Never aimed anything, never went through stumps, never nothing. Just ripping that thing as hard as you could fucking reel it. And it produces like crazy. You just have to know how to do it, how to tune it, how to make it. You know, you used to do a lock snap, tune it so it runs extremely straight at that sort of speed. It's amazing. He probably wasn't. He's a fast fisherman. Yeah, it is. I mean, I told you that I mean, the way to describe it, you cast out a surface lure, start working it, and suddenly fish starts busting to the left. You need to reel it in as fast as you can so you can cast that way. That's how I reel in a square bill or a square bill. That freaking fast. Yeah, I mean, I said I learned it from a guy that learned it from the 80s. And the original time we were at Margarita, we'd been fishing. We started at 7. We hadn't caught many fish at all. It was middle of summer. I think it was like August. It was bacon ass hot. And I had a little 12-foot boat, kind of built into a bass boat. He was in the back. He goes, I'm going to try something. This old man in the 80s, this is in the 90s, when he used to be a pro on the Western Bass Tour. And he went, I'm going to try something. And I went, okay. So I just kept fishing. I didn't know what he tied on, anything else. And he's like, got one. I'm like, what? What? And then all of a sudden, a little bit later, he's like, got another one. I'm like, what? He caught 7 after that. To me, none. I was like throwing, I don't know what I was doing. I wasn't a crankerback. I was throwing, I don't know what I was throwing. He got 7 behind me. And I went, what the hell? He goes, oh, the one I showed you, the little we are, the black and silver. He goes, I'm throwing this little we are, but I'm high speed cranking. I'm reeling it as fast as I can. I'm like, well, it's fucking working, dude. He goes, oh yeah, some old man taught me this back in the 80s. And that's when I started. That's when I started getting all those baits and exploring on it and working it. And yeah, he was throwing outside the weeds along the edge, not hitting anything, just reeling that little we are as fast as he could. And he got 7 behind me. And we hadn't caught a fish in like 6 hours. We couldn't even get a bite. Yeah, you need a soft tip though, dude. You can't high speed cranking, you need a medium rod. You need a medium rod. You need a really quick, flexy tip. They hit it so hard and so quick. That little bit of time will hook you like 90% of the fish. If you have a stiffer tip, especially if you're doing deep stuff and you have a stiffer tip, no, that won't work. They hit it so quick, and a lot of times with the flex of that tip against them hitting it, you'll lose a lot of them. You want just that little bit of delay on a really soft tip. Like a lot of people do cranking, even deep cranking, that they want the fiberglass softer tip. Okay, well, if it has a really freaking flimsy tip, like that's what you need. My best one was a Abu Garcia, 6.5 foot. I used 7 foot a lot, but 6.5 foot. But it didn't get backbone until like a foot and a half down the freaking rod. I mean, the tip was just like you could blow on it and the tip would bend. You go. It was really flimsy, but then there was a backbone about a foot and a half down, like the fourth eye or something was where the backbone hit. But above that, it was like a fly rod, like, and yeah, that was my best one. I think I started with a medium heavy, and then I switched to a medium. But yeah, never hitting anything. No bottom contact, no nothing. Just haul that shit as quick as you can. Oh, Steve's going for a smoke break. Well, I'm out here smoking. I can't say anything. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I luckily got introduced to it just because I randomly had a friend that learned about it from someone else that was an old time pro Western Bass Circuit pro that taught to him, and he just happened to try it that one day in the back of my boat when we were sticking up our asses, and it produced like hell. And then I went, I like this. It seems like fun. I can do that. I can cast out in real like hell. And so I spent about 2 years developing it. And yeah, I'm older now. It really hurts me to do it. I can't do it much. I can cast it maybe for like a half hour, and I'm done. Back in the day, I used to fish for. I go out in the morning and throw top waters till about 11. Let the wind pick up. That's another thing with this technique. The more wind, the better. And go with the wind, not against it. And then I'd spend from 11 until using the tournament till like 3:30 at the weigh-in, just covered in water and throwing the high-speed crank. Switching it up along the way, trying to figure out what they wanted, what color they wanted. A lot of it depends on the watercolor. Yeah. Usually with high speed, what you want is something you can see. Something you see the furthest away. If you see it come to the water like 6 inches to a foot further, when you bring it up to the boat, that's the color you want. At least in light color when you're looking at shad type stuff. When you get into darker colors than that, it doesn't matter that much. But when it's in summer and they're in the shad bite or the fall, a foot further away will get you a hell of a lot more bites. So I said that's why I fish light, medium, and dark. Yeah, just play with it until it starts catching the most fish. Fireworks. Fireworks. Everybody loves fireworks. It's a safe to say one though. Yeah, but that's sort of, I don't know. My whole philosophy of how I catch fish and how I constantly work on fish and catch fish is it's a lot different than most people do. At least nowadays. I still do see a lot of people that are fishing things and doing things, and I'm like, oh my God, they know what they're talking about. I'm impressed. That is totally it. But the majority of it is just like, fuck you thinking, dude. What? Okay, they've never seen that technique before, but do they want to see it? And and how much percentage of time do they want to see it? I mean, it's a pretty specific, niche specific bait. Maybe once in a while it'll smoke them, but not very often. Yeah, it's about percentages. Yeah, but see, the weird thing, it's about percentages, but the percentages have nothing to do with the speed or how many places you're fishing most of the time. Yeah, I know it's weird. I mean, for me with the cranking that, it was about covering water, covering water. Yeah, that's percentages, amount of cast, covering it. But you can also get down to when you're doing a jig or something like that, and the way you're fishing it and everything else. Even if you're in one spot, focusing on one spot, the percentage of what you're fishing for them will catch you more if there's, you know, at least a number of fish in that area. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, it's a slower the technique. Yeah, the more casts, but the more casts might be more specific to a certain area than if you're using an activate. Activates usually you need to cover water, cover water, cover water. When you slow down to a ledge or just a certain shoreline of rock or riprap, it's a high percentage bait and multiple casts, just covering that area over and over and over with some that's high percentage. So I mean, it's weird, and that's what. Yeah, yeah, that's been proven. That's been proven in scientific studies and everything. Bass, look at the bass's mouth. This is what I always tell people. I did a biology bites on this. What is the angle of a bass's mouth? Steve, she went on here reacting to me. What is the angle of their mouth? That's all I gotta say. The angle of bass's mouth should clue you in on why they want to feed up. It's not straightforward. It's not straightforward. Look at a bass. Look at a bass in a picture with its mouth closed. What angle is its mouth facing at? It's a little online quiz right now. Upwards. Yes. Upwards. And with upwards, when they open their mouth, where's the suction coming from? When they open their mouth, the suction is coming from above. When they eat something on the bottom, they often have to get almost vertical or nose down on it. That's why they nose down a lot of stuff on the bottom. Because when they open their mouth, their suction is coming from the top. It's coming from above. It's not coming from straight ahead. Trout and all that, it's almost straight. And then you get bottom feeders and catfish and that where the upper jaw is out further than the lower jaw. Look at bass, the lower jaw is out further than the upper back. Bass's lower jaw is out further than their upper, which means when they open their mouth, the majority of the suction is coming from above. Trout, if you look at trout, it's more like you said. Trout are more straight ahead because they often hit things in the middle of the common straight ahead of them. And yeah, straight ahead's the attack angle, but a lot of times when bass go at it, just because of where they are, they're a little lower. Jimmy, what's up? Well, let's see if will Jimmy come in? Probably not. Yeah, but it's that's why they're a topwater feeding predator. And the bottom, they can eat up bottom, but the way they have to angle themselves to hit it, they have to be more nose down on it. So when they suck, because it's coming from more forward, but they have to be at this angle. They can't come into some of them straight and suck. I mean, they can, but their suction is less because the water's come more from the top. So yeah, it might come in, but it's just things people don't realize and look at with them. And that said, when they straight ahead's their best attack angle, but when they come into something, it's here. They don't come in straight into it. They come in right here, a little bit below it when they open their mouth because their suction's more from the top. So if it's a little bit up, it goes down into it. It's just the way they know how to feed. That's just the way they do it naturally. But that's why they're such a good topwater fish. And that's why if they had it 9% of the time they're more feed about for something that's above them that they can get below and come up to. Pros always say that you never want to fish below the bass. If they're suspended, you don't want to throw something underneath them. If they're suspended 5 feet up, you don't want to fish below them. If they're 5 feet down, you want to fish something that's like 2 or 3 feet above them. Because they're more willing to go up than they are go down. Just because of percentages and capture rate. Well, I've like given away all my secrets in this one line. Pretty much. I pretty much, yeah. Yeah. If you stay above them, your percentages go up. Even if they're on the bottom. If you fish just above them, if they're on the bottom, yes. No, I know. I'm telling you, I mean, this is stuff that a lot of the pros know, and I've heard them very rarely in an article talk about. But they'll tell you about a bait, tell you how to fish a bait and all that, but majority of the time they won't. They don't want to tell you those little secrets. They're tournament fishermen. That's the way they make their living. Info. I don't fish football jigs. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't fish them. That's probably kind of why I hop everything I fish. Because football jigs, most people you're supposed to just pull them over the bottom and drag them. And they're supposed to go like this right on the bottom. And like I said, the way they have to angle on it and get in a kind of awkward position just to suck them in. If they're following it and they're following a jig and all of a sudden it pops up, they can go and get it really easily. They don't have to do that like little weird angle to try and get off the bottom. When it pops up right in front of them, it's right there. Same thing with, I say it all the time, on the bottom or off the bottom. Yeah, that's why that works. Yeah, that's why that works because they might be following it. Suddenly you stroke it and they want to feed going up. It goes up, starts coming down. They can use their good angle to go. But on the bottom, they have to do that weird sort of thing. They have to get nose down on it and try to suck it off the bottom. Where if it's in the air, they can use what they naturally do and just grab it so quick. It's just little things that people don't notice. And that's what, I mean, majority of the good pros on tour, they notice all that stuff. It's like you said, stroking instead of dragging. I dragged on the bottom, but I wasn't getting hit. Suddenly I started stroking off the bottom, and I started nailing the shit out of it. The difference with me is I'm usually working on the bottom, but I'm like using a layer jig, and when I pop it and stuff, it comes up off the bottom a ways and sinks back down. It comes up off the bottom and sinks back down. If they're following it and trying to nose up on it, and also it goes up, it's much easier to grab in that. Boom. Or you suck that thing in a second. I don't know. That's just what I've learned over the 40 years of fishing for bass. I used to do that. I used to use a little the steep like 45-degree where I had the Nazi and stuff like that. Yeah, you won't catch fish on a big spoon dragging on the bottom, but pop it off and let it float right down. Pop it off, float it back down. When it pops up, they have the angle they prefer. Boom. But I used to do it, and I'd use a little 16th ounce weight on a 4-inch robo worm on 45-degree banks. Everybody else is like going up to a quarter or something like that, and just keeping it right in the bottom and working over those rocks. I'd go really light. I let it hit bottom and I'd like pick it up and kind of swim it above the bottom and let it float back down. And then pick it up off the bottom and slow back down. And sure enough, I pick it up through the rocks and that, pick it up and then I just let it. And sure enough, right when I brought it up and let it float back down, all of a sudden, oh, there's a fish. That's why I'm a light fisherman. That's why I prefer lighter baits and heavier baits. Because I don't fish much. I mean, you, Steve, you said you don't fish much more than 10 feet of water. I mean, if you're going down 30, 40 feet for something, a heavier jig with the line and the weight, and when you pick it up, it will come off the bottom a lot more. But anything shallower than like 15 feet, it's going to be, no matter how you work it, it's going to be on the bottom the whole time. But like this whole discussion, they prefer it and their angle off. So that's why I've honed myself to what I've been doing and how I fish them. Yeah, you're a little odd, Steve. Learning it and applying it is totally different, though. feel like Tim Robbins right now. You have to believe in the technique, and you have to do it over and over and over to get the confidence to fish it and know that it works. Like me in the high speed cranking, I would in tournaments, I would tell people exactly where I was catching them, exactly the way I was doing them. And my partner at the time, he would get so pissed at me. I don't know. Yeah, you know how it works, but you have to. I mean, I would, like I said, I would tell him exactly, and I'm like, and he would get pissed at me. He's like, dude, you just told him what lure we're using, what we're catching. We have like 16 pounds in live well. They just said they have only caught 2 fish. Well, it doesn't matter. I've been doing this for 4 years. They're gonna go throw it around for a half hour and say, "Oh, that guy's full of shit." It was just true. I mean, they're not gonna believe me. They're not gonna believe in it. They're gonna try it for a little bit and get tired, like I told you when I used to do the day so far and how many baits they go through and everything else. They're just gonna give up on it. If they throw it out the first time and catch fish, they might try it for a little bit longer, but it's cover and water technique. Yeah, like I said though, it might have been. I'm not saying give up on that technique. Yeah, it's confidence thing. But the reality is, that's more of a niche specific technique. It might have worked that day. You might have tried it for the next 2 weeks and not get a bite on it. My techniques, they're pretty consistent. It's just a matter of covering water and time and everything else. Yeah, I mean, I've done that. I've been the same way. I went out with some and whacked the shit out of them. Then I didn't catch anything else in that freaking lake for another month on that technique. I'm like, damn it, I thought I had them dialed in. But I only had them dialed in for that day because for some reason that's what they were on. Then I went back to normal stuff and caught fish, and I kept going back to that and trying it, and they just didn't want it. I'm like, what the fuck? Why did I do so good that day on it? I mean, why? Makes no sense. Yeah, if you have it, but I mean, mix it in with now that I've told you with the high speed and that, and mix it in with that. You might find, the high speed catches a lot of fish all the time. Maybe someday it doesn't. You're like, damn, this has been working. And then you go, oh, let me try the deep cranking, digging the bottom. Yeah. Then you go, oh, let me try the deep digging. Maybe they want that again. It all just adds to your repertoire. Your, I mean, see, the weird thing with me, those, I know you're gonna try it. I'm telling you, dude. It's if I wouldn't have that freak accident, weird introduction to it by my friend in like '91 on the back of my boat, I would have never fished a square bill like that ever. I hadn't even fished one yet. I didn't even have one. When he got his fish, I didn't have anything that shallow or a square bill in my tackle box. After that is when I started buying them all and checking them out. If I hadn't learned it that day, I probably would have learned how to throw it, through maybe reading a magazine or listening to other people that told me they were catching it. Because early on, when I started getting into cranks and stuff, I would have tried to bounce it off everything and all that, which probably wouldn't have worked as well. Yeah, it's fast you can. I'm telling you. It's a technique you would think would not catch the fish. I had people when I used to do it all the time in Margarita and that. Every fisherman I saw said, dude, your arms are going to fall off. Your arms are going to fall off. For a year and a half, that's all I heard from other bass boat fishermen when they saw me and got to know me. Dude, every time I see you out here, you fish so fucking fast, your arms are going to fall off. It kind of made me remind me of that milk commercial where that guy picks up the wheelbarrow and his arms fall off. Yeah, that's what they all told me. And if you watch my video, I have a San Antonio tournament video. I ended up getting second. Pat Fadley's interviewing me, and during the interview, he goes, "What'd you catch him on?" Come on, Squareville. Fast, slow. I go, pretty fast. And he turns to everybody else in the club and goes, "That's an understatement. Have you ever seen Scott fish a crankbait? He fishes it faster than anybody's ever fished it." I went, "Yeah, I have that evidence from, what was that, like 2002, I think. 2002, 2003, when I was really into the technique." And he had to reiterate, if you ever seen Scott fish a crankbait, you'll understand what fast is. Yeah, like I said, I didn't invent it. I just happened to get lucky enough to have my friend Ed, I forget his last name, but that one day at Margarita when he smoked me, throwing a Rebel We Are Chrome Black, really as fast as he could out in front of the weeds. After we spent like said 7 a.m. to like noon or 1 without a fish. He busted that thing out. And I didn't have any. And after that, I bought him, and I spent those years, about 2 years, just honing that technique and trying to master it. Because I didn't like to fish plastics. I didn't like to slow down. I was young. I could move fast. Yeah. Yep. Dirty water might change the color that's working, but nope. Burn the shit out of the thing. Burn the motherfucking shit out of it. Get it tuned, get it so you can reel it that fast and it's coming in straight. Yeah, and just rip it anywhere. Anywhere where there's like a few feet of water under it. And you'd be amazed, dude. Especially around the edges of weed lines and stuff, or a 45-degree angle bank with rock. Yeah, it's just like. And another thing too, I don't think you're in here. I think you're on a smoke break when I told you this. Go with the wind. Don't go into the wind. Go with the wind. That's one of the major things of this technique. If you're going down a shoreline or a line of weeds and that, go with the wind. Do not go against it. Go straight into the wind, with the wind. You're moving fast. You probably don't have to be on totally more much to kind of keep yourself out. But throw with the wind. Most fishermen want to fish and go into the wind. Yep, wind at your back. Wind at your back and just keep moving. Cast and reel, cast and reel, cast and reel. You'll be pretty amazed. I mean, once you find the color and the actual crank they want, like I said, of those variations I do. I mean, hello, 1,835 bass in 6 months on the same lake. Yeah, yeah, they face into the current. Not really. I mean, here's what really works with that. Most bait fishing stuff usually move into the current. Um, no, see, that's a weird thing though. And that's the best thing about this. When you get a lot of wind in that, the current's only going to be about, if there is a current, well, obviously there's a current there. It's only like 2 or 3 feet down in the water column. Below that, it's pretty much dead calm. But most bait fish and things that are moving are going to be moving into the current. So if you have the wind at your back and you're casting that way, your lure is moving into the current. So they're sitting down there below the current, but they're seeing something coming above the current, and it looks more natural, and that's why they hit it. Most things don't swim with the current majority of the time, like especially shads and stuff like that, filter feeders and everything. They're moving along, they're letting the current and the wind blow the algae and the microplankton and everything into them. If they're going with the wind, they're moving with what they're eating compared to turning away the way where the food is coming to them. So that's kind of the weird thing with it. That I don't know. It's just going with the wind. Bring your lure into the wind, and they don't sit in it. They sit below. When that wind's whipping and everything else, they don't sit in that current. Wind current is not. It only happens the first like 2 or 3 feet of water column. Once you get below that, it's just calm water. They're sitting down there watching stuff above them that's swimming that way into the current. Usually bait fish and any bluegill and everything else just eating. They're usually facing or going that way. So when you have your bait heading the direction they should be more than not, it just really helps that technique. That's why I work it fast. Because I mean, I would have a shoreline that was like a mile or two long that I wanted to fish with this technique. That a mile or two of shoreline, I would go through it in about, I mean, depending on how many fish I caught and how little time I had to spend to fight them in that, it would probably take me about 20 minutes, half hour to run a 2 mile section. That's how fast I go through it. I don't, I don't spend like an hour going down. It's like, 20 minutes for a 2 mile stretch. That was it. Come in, get about 6 feet from shore on a steep bank or right outside those reeds. Have the 10, 15 mile an hour wind behind me and just drift with it and cast. Drift with it and cast. He's telling me where just to kind of keep myself, the appropriate distance out for the cast. And that's key. Going with the wind. It's just a hard concept because if you read a lot of stuff, when they're fishing slower baits and that. Oh yeah, you want to position yourself into the wind. But the funny thing is, I've been watching a lot of turbot fishing recently, and they'll have spot lock on. Well, spot lock. Okay, spot lock. You put it in front of the boats into the wind. They'll put the front of the boat into the wind, and then go to the back and cast with the wind. And bring their bait against the current. A lot of people think, oh yeah, I'm fishing out the front of the boat. I'll put spot lock on, it stays here. I can just keep casting straight. But no, you watch a lot of them. They'll put it straight in, so it stays, and then I go to the back, and they fish out the back, fishing with the wind, and bring it against the current. Something I used to do, but I didn't have spot lock. I have an old tips and tricks. I think one of my very first ones. When you go to my website and look at tips and tricks. One of my very first ones at lock pad in my test pond. That tips and tricks is about fishing with the wind. Because I had in my mind, because that's how I cranked. It's really bad video. It's really grainy. Not good. I mean, the audio and everything's great, and the educational part of it's really great, but the video is like crappy, bad quality. But the knowledge is great for it. That's the way I used to fish. I know I fish at high speed technique. Yeah. It's weird, Steve. I mean, I fish kind of opposite a lot of people in the way I fish, but I just like to catch fish. I don't care if they're actually like huge and that. I just want to always catch fish. I always want to figure out a way to always catch fish. Sometimes figuring that out leads to a good 5, 6 pounder, 7 pounder, whatever. But I just love to catch fish, and I've honed all my techniques to always being able to catch fish. Sometimes they're good big fish, sometimes not. Depends on the school, depends on what's there. But if you train yourself to always be able to catch fish, it's a numbers game. Eventually, you're going to catch bigger ones. It's just a numbers game. So wow, this ends up being like out of nowhere. I was going to tell you about YouTube. Well, I kind of did talk about YouTube help videos in a way, but educational fishing videos more than videos that tell you how to get 50% more views on your channel over time. But yeah, get to talk to more about YouTube channels and the way that they misinform fishermen about techniques. Well, it's a little hard doing it live. I mean, yeah, I'm saying that. Usually, Pedal Mondays is something that I kind of get away from fishing. I mean, you never know. It happens. But that's why I like Pedal Mondays. It's kind of fun that we get in everything. Usually. This one's stuck to the topic of fishing, which is great, and I love it. but I'm actually now on a Monterey skateboard collective. I've been really juiced. I mean, it's a private Facebook group, but it's actually all my friends I've known now since I used to skate and skated my ramp back in the 80s. They've created this. They've created this collective, and it's all pictures and all old school Monterey skateboarding. And all of them used to skate my ramp. It was a pretty known ramp for like 5 years. And yeah, I've been uploading to that thing. Like I think I've already uploaded like 15 pictures. I've uploaded 2 videos. I'm just having so much fun going through all of my old skateboarding stuff, skateboarding pictures, pictures from my ramp, pictures from other people's ramp, all this stuff that I have. Yeah, and I'm really, and the funny is, there's 233 people now in the club. And you know me, I put up certain videos, educational videos. They've been on there for like, they've been on YouTube for 3 months and they've got like 80 views. Only 233 members. Yeah, and I put it on there, and a lot of the videos have like 155 views. Pictures have like 110. I mean, no, but I just love it. They all know who I am. I was Digger at the time, and no, I'm not even that one. I don't even skate anymore. I did it for a little bit. I'm not skating. I'm just giving them all the stuff that I collected and filmed of Monterey County skating history since 1986. But yeah, it's a different avenue for me, and I really love it. I'm like, I mean, I'm giving pictures, and I'm putting on a picture, and all of a sudden somebody on this forum or this group goes, dude, that's me in the background. They're like, that's me. That's me on your ramp on the deck behind you. I'm like, wow. This is like, I mean, they were 14, 13, 14, 15 back then. You know, now they're in their 40s, 50s, like me. And they're like, that was me. That picture in the background is me. And I'm like, cool. I didn't know your name back then, but cool. And he used to come skate my rack all the time, but I don't really know who you were other than that. But yeah, so it's actually, I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun realizing, I don't know, I was known for like 5, 6 years in the Monterey Peninsula for who I was. Kind of continued that for another 4 or 5 years where I was away from the area, but it's really cool to see all these people like, and there's pictures. And the funny thing is, I go in there for the first time. I look through it. There's pictures of me that other people took, and it says Digger, here's ramp. Digger here, Digger here. I'm like, oh my god, I haven't heard that name, and or I haven't been popular under that name for like 20 years yet. Randomly, there's people posting, and the headline is me. It's like, what? And the comments are like, oh, he ripped. Oh, he was the best. Oh, I used to skate his ramp. Oh, he was so good. I'm like, wow, this is kind of weird retrospective of a sport I did that long ago. Yeah, it's just, so I'm having fun with that. In the background, in the fishing, I'm still, obviously, get rad. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I met my friend Dale He was in my last live. Live I did. Live I did last Tuesday at El Cerro. Dale used to keep my rag. Dale Hemker. He's in one of my skating fishes I did 3 or 4 months ago, or two years ago, or something like that. First time I'd seen him in about over a year. He told me about the collective. He showed up in that live. He brought it all back to. Oh, it's really good. It's nostalgia. Like I said, Steve, it's a rebirth of who I was, but I'm a lot older now and I took time off, so I'm not that kind of skater. But it's really fun to see these people get excited and just get excited for the fact that they were in that picture on my ramp behind me 30 years ago. Like, that's me. That's me standing on Digger's ramp. Oh, it's just a lot of fun. As you get older, you appreciate what you had and what you were when you're pretty much too old to do something like that anymore. At 55, I ain't gonna be skating like that ever again. But it's good to be appreciated for what I had when I was 20, 19, until I was like in my 30s. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm. I mean, I'd link it to you guys, but it's a private. It's a private channel on Facebook, and there's a public side of it, but yeah, you have to like tell them who you are and why you're here, and they let you. So it's not anything I can like. But it's just fun to have that. Yeah, it just came out of nowhere. Totally came out of nowhere, but I'm so into it now. I'm more into it than I mean, YouTube makes me money. This thing makes me nothing. But I'm so into oh, I gotta find this, I gotta find that. I gotta, I gotta go to my storage unit. I have so much old footage on tapes down there of demos and more skate videos and see it's given me this whole like emphasis to go out and clear out my get rid of my $90 a month storage unit I've had for like 15 years because there's so much of this stuff that YouTube probably won't appreciate, but these people will appreciate. So I'm really looking to go down there, clear it out, get all my stuff. Yeah, it's just been yeah, I know. I gotta go soon. Like, just tell me what it just dim me. It dim me. I gotta go. It dim me. No, but yeah. Sorry, I was gonna say something else. I totally forgot it now. I totally, yeah. I don't know. I was gonna talk about something. Anyway, it's, I'm obviously out. I'm not gonna plug in the other battery. So I've been like, 3.5 hours. Thank you guys. So this was, I don't know. This was fun. It's a lot of fun. I didn't expect it to go this way. I didn't expect it to be all fishing and have so many people. But you're right, Steve. Yeah, they should all be about it. But this is the one. I don't know. This is the one a month that I just like go where it goes. Tomorrow I'm gonna be. I think I might go to Pinot tomorrow and try live. If not, El Estero. I don't think the winds are gonna be kind to go to the pier. But I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll be on location fishing, and hope to see you guys there. Hopefully, I see new people. People share it out. I'll get back to what I've been doing instead of sitting here on the stale stripper porch so much. But yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you, Steve. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bam!